Nice.
And we're live. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode here at the Pocket Dragon of our new sci-fi mini campaign called Euphorium. If it seems like I'm scatterbrained, that's because I would never insult you by being a prepared DM tonight. In any case, we have our wonderful players here tonight. Say hello to Lev, Knight, Bex, Kira, Bookish, and Roman. Kira and Knight are at our table for the first time. I hope you guys enjoyed the first session a couple Sundays ago.
Hope you guys enjoyed the gay.
The gay first session. I mean, Wendy was a part of it, so.
They are very gay.
Wendy with an eye.
Wendy.
Yes.
Wendy with an eye.
In any case, I hope you guys are settled in and are ready for the next part of our game. When we last left our intrepid adventurers, we were in mid-battle, which is why our map is up. The Nihilus was about to be boarded by members of the Carabiner Network, who demanded that everybody on the Nihilus either get out or get good. So that said, shall we dive in, guys? Are you guys ready? Do you need a minute?
Yeah, give me about 15 more minutes.
Listen. I can give you like a minute. Go. In any case, let's go ahead and get this party started. We did a roll for initiative, so let's see who's first up in our turn order. Kalani, are you ready to go?
Kalani's never ready for battle.
I can do announcements. I feel like that was really fast. So, this is where my brain is at. That's okay. We'll give you a second to prepare your turn. I can go into announcements if you want. Like I have none, but I can make some up. So
yeah, tell them about that stuff and things. Yeah.
Stuff and things. We're,
give us a refresher.
You know what? Yeah, we do have something to talk about. It's Lunar New Year. Happy Year of the Rabbit, everyone. I'm sitting there like, I got to put red flowers in my hair because red's a lucky color for Lunar New Year. Celebrated throughout Asia. The Lunar New Year Festival is the start of the Lunar New Year. It's a lot of fun. If you've seen our Instagram, we talked about New Year's foods. I actually had some yesterday out in Chinatown. That was really fun. And I got myself a really pretty hairpin as well while I was out there. A lot of people firing poppers and fireworks and just having a grand old time. Let's see. And then as far as our announcements goes, Euphorium will continue through February. We have, after this session, we will have 2 more sessions left to see if our heroes can find the mysterious element called Euphorium or if there's something else going on.
Heroes?
We don't know. I don't know.
Heroes.
We'll find out. I call them heroes because in my heart, you're the protags, even if you're not.
Hey, just because we're protagonists doesn't mean we have to be heroes. Sometimes you can follow the villain.
Have you ever played Skyrim? Do you know how many people I stole from?
The whole beginning intro was the NPC going, "Are you sure you guys know how to fly a ship?"
That's fair.
Yes. And then
it's fine.
Wing it!
Yes. After Euphorium, we will have a game in March that is going to be DM'd by our wonderful Lev for Denegard. Looking forward to that wonderful fantasy story. Lev's just going to go cry in a corner. And then after that in April, I'm excited to announce the 2nd season of Blood Red Bedlam.
Woo!
So, yes, and coming soon. We're sort of working our way to that announcement, aren't we? But we are going to have a brand new DM for Blood Red Bedlam. And hint, hint, he's actually sitting at this table. But we will, I'm waiting to give him like the fireworks and the whole thing, the whole entrance later. So, but that is coming soon. I'm really looking forward to season 2 and where we go. Some of the concepts that are being shared have me really excited, and the work that's going into it. So,
my fortune cookie says that there's more to come.
Yes. And we'll be back with our ragtag group of wannabe heroes in Blood Red Bedlam. Boy, I missed my punchy monk. All strength, no armor.
Good to
but
know, Redstone.
I don't know who you're calling a hero. It's not me.
Well, we just throw you at things.
It might be Sniv. Sniv might be the hero.
Sniv might be the hero. That's
Sniv
the real
is the
hero.
true hero to all of our hearts. It's true.
Okay. And on that note, I think are you ready to go? Because I think we have ad-libbed enough. That's everything I have to say so far.
I don't know what I needed to prepare. She's going to hold her action.
All that. Come on, no, Vamp, I got you. Nope.
I was just looking at all her stuff and I was like, she's going to hold her action to, if they come to fight, she's going to shoot her flame bolt.
So you're holding your action you're holding your action in case they attack you, basically. Cool, great. So I'm gonna make a note of that somewhere. Of course, why would there be, again, I would never insult you by being a prepared DM. Why would I have a pen ready? That would be stupid. All right, held action. And then that moves us to the next person in the turn order. So as we get to, we're off to a wonderful clumsy start. That would be you, Varix, and you were in the engine room, correct? You're trying to get the engine started?
I had just started running that way when we left off.
Okay. And to get to, for the purposes of this, as far as your distance is concerned, what's your walking distance?
I have a 30-foot movement speed.
Okay. Are you going to use your action to dash?
Sure.
Okay, if you use your action to dash, it should get you into the cargo hold, and underneath that would be the engine room. So you could use your action to open the hatch and climb in.
I already used my action to dash.
That's true. I'm sorry. Brain no work.
No,
again,
it's all good.
Why would I be a prepared DM?
Where's the captain again?
The captain is asleep in some unknown part of the ship currently. They're very responsible, as you can see.
Taking a wee nap, it's fine.
A wee nap.
Yes. I think that's your action to dash. You are standing over the hatch. You know that Sully is, you know that the person, the gentleman you met earlier has also gone down there to try to get the engine started as well.
Okay.
So if that is your action, do you have anything else that you would like to do? Bonus action, reaction.
I'm going to stand there, look at my hands, and look at the hatch.
Okay.
And just get prepared to lift it in my tiny frame.
You just psych yourself up to lift this little hatch. Okay, cool, great. Okay, next up in the turn order is Annie. Annie, what would you like to do?
Oh my gosh. Oh.
You are up by the door next to Ed, so staring at this large group of people that are getting ready to board your ship.
I thought that pup turned tail.
Yeah, that pup's turning tail.
Okay, so if you're running, where are you running to?
That pup immediately just bailed.
Okay.
I think he might. Well, first things first, I'm gonna try to. When I dive, I'm trying to hide.
Okay.
And I think, hiding is first priority, and I don't know how far away he's gonna get from Ed, because he knows Ed's capable.
Okay. Yes.
Oh my god.
So if you're gonna, I guess my two questions are, how far away are you going? And then as your action, I want you to go ahead and roll stealth to see how well you hide yourself.
Yes. I'm gonna go so poorly. Where is it? I can't see it.
It's not incredibly poorly.
Right. It could have been way worse.
That could have been worse. You could have just tripped and let your ass hang out from
Which
where
I
you're standing.
That's not horrible. That's not horrible. You managed to duck behind that big seat right in the center there of the ship. So you're deeper in the ship.
I'm deeper
behind
in the
it.
I think
do you
in my hidden state, because Annie of course thinks he succeeded. He thinks he got a natural 20. He thinks he's humming Mission Impossible very quietly.
Confidence is key.
Yes. I feel like this poor This poor dude thinks that we're in a Nerf gun battle right now.
Kind of horrified and terrified, but yeah, Nerf guns. I think he's gonna head towards the cockpit.
Okay, so he's gonna head towards the cockpit. All right.
I'm not
So
a child.
he's-
You are.
So we're gonna
I
put
can-
him. I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
I
1,
just really remember
2,
that completely.
3. That's 30 feet. Is your walking speed 30 feet?
My walking speed is scrolling 30 feet.
Okay, perfect. So you're gonna be right in front of the. I moved it for you, but
Oh,
you're gonna
my
be
bad.
right in front of the cockpit. That's okay. I got you. I just need to know where you are. So you've moved there.
Cool.
All right. So next up on the turn order, let's see. We've got good old Ed. All right, Ed. What would you like to do?
Scoff after seeing that display of bravery. Just looking and casting a sort of glare over the top edge of this couch. Ed's not, he's the only one that's standing there, so he's just gonna sort of, again, if he didn't have it out already, he's got this sort of, it almost looks like a flashlight when it's compact,
Okay.
but it doesn't have like a bulb.
Okay.
So what he takes from the side pocket of his backpack, he takes out, and then in a sort of like, practiced fancy sort of spin action, almost like he's flipping a light into his hand. This thing twists and it like these two pieces like pop out off both sides, and it turns into like this quarterstaff that is no longer compact. It comes out of his backpack, and he just holds it like that. He's not going to go and hurt any of these people because
Okay.
he's not looking to add his face onto that sort of action, but he's ready to like
All right.
jab somebody out the door if they try to get onto the ship. And yeah.
Okay.
He's
do you
holding,
wanna?
he's waiting.
Okay. So are you holding an action then? Are you gonna hold your action the same way that Bookish did?
I'm really hoping that we leave before I need an action.
There are no guarantees in space.
I'm gonna hold. I can hold a rage, right? I can hold because it's a bonus action. Would I be able to?
That's a good question. Can you hold a rage?
No.
Oh,
That's
damn
what I
it.
thought. See, because I have two experienced DMs at this table, so if I don't know, I can ask them.
You can only hold actions. You can't hold bonus actions or
Yes,
movement.
you can't. Yes, so it's just so you cannot
Unless
hold
your action
rage.
is a dash.
Yeah.
No, even then you can't
You can't hold a dash.
move. Yeah, you can't hold any movement.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hell is my
All
character
right,
sheet.
but
Okay.
what you can do is you can hold an attack if you wanted to do that.
Yeah. I'll do that, and I'll just have to use a bonus action. My bonus action when I have it. So yeah, he's ready, holding an attack.
Okay.
For if somebody gets to the door, hoping that doesn't be the case.
Okie dokie. All right, and Knight, sorry, I saw you with your hand up. I just wanted to let
you're
you finish their turn. What's up?
Yeah, you're good. I understand. Quick reminder: there is a trap set on the door, or on one
There's
of the
a
doors.
trap. Yes,
Yeah, I think it was the one that
It was
Annie
the
and
opposite
It's this
side.
door right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
It's this door right here. I pinged it for you guys.
I can't
It's
see
the
it.
opposite side to where Ed is.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
It's the one that Annie was back.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Okay. So that brings us to the next turn. Let me scroll down here so we can see what the next turn is. Nerix, it's all you. What would you like to do?
All right, if I step up next to Ed, am I able to see outside?
Yes, you would be able to see outside, but you'd be right in front of the door where the trap is.
Okay. Do I understand what that trap is?
I believe
You-
Derek said something to that it was trapped to the effect. Is that correct, Knight?
I didn't say anything, but you guys definitely saw me like slinging wires.
You
okay.
You did put something on the iPad.
Okay,
did
I did
do
send.
something.
I airdropped.
I was gonna say Ed can just tell them that the bug left some kind of mess there. Look out.
That works too.
Some
It's
kind of
been
mess.
communicated. We're not metagaming.
Okay, so Nerix is gonna come up beside Ed, looking outside.
Okay.
This may distract them a bit, and the dots along her face start to glow. The blue dots start to glow. She holds out her hand, and she's going to use her talent, hallucinatory terrain.
Okay,
Ooh.
and when you do that, funnily enough, any Kalani's tattoos also begin to glow.
Ooh. Twinsies.
Quite
Trippy.
literally. All right, so you're casting hallucinatory terrain.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
think I want to go with something like a dense forest of some sort. Maybe
Okay,
something
so-
from, I forget what that planet where the Dendus went.
Teket? Are you thinking of Teket?
Yes, the one where
Okay,
they,
so-
I guess, terraformed.
Yes, the lush planet. We'll talk about that planet later for our audience who's like, what the hell is that? So, because we know what it is, because we live here in this lore. Anyway, so you create the illusion of this dense, dark forest in front of this group of soldiers and Esper Talons in an effort to hold them back. And you do hear some cries of confusion coming from their ranks as they try to figure out where this forest came from and whether or not it is real. Is there anything else that you would like to do?
I am just going to smile, maybe like wink at Ed, and walk back to my sister.
How very
Before
cool of
any
you.
of the forest thing happened, Ed would have been looking at this person's face as if they were getting ready to detonate because, like, they were glowing up and just
Maybe
sort of
this will
like.
distract them for a bit.
Just gonna blow myself up.
That's cool. Yeah, awesome. Ed's a little bit. Ed doesn't say anything. Ed doesn't say anything.
It's just like, okay, that's the kind of day we're having. All right, and then let's see. So, is that everything you would like to do, Nerix?
Yes, please.
Okay, so next up we have Mason.
Okay. So I'm in the. Is that the? We were going to the engine room, correct?
Yes, you were going
With
to the engine
Varix.
room with Varix.
Yeah, I'm sticking by
And-
him, and we're there now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna get into a corner while he works. I'm gonna hide behind or into the shadows of something. Is it dark in here at all, or is it well lit, or?
It's lit in the way that it's because the ship is not like necessarily in space, which is when it would be fully lit, like because it's a habitable thing. It's more lit in the way the emergency lights are on, so you can still see, but it's not using power to, for electric or anything. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense because I'm doing two things at once.
No, that's fine.
So-
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna back myself into this corner.
Okay. hmm
If there's any shadow there, and I'm going
Into
to
this corner. Okay. hmm
Yeah, and I'm going to. I'm just gonna try to hide. I'm gonna try to blend
Okay.
in as best I can, like pull my hood up and everything. Just try to get into the shadows as best I can.
Okay. So do me a favor and roll for stealth.
What do I owe you in return?
Well, we can discuss that off the show, but
Okay, roll for stealth.
I'm sorry, studio audience. We did mark this as mature for a reason. All right. Studio audience, like we're in a studio. LOL. So, all right. What did we roll? Your face. Yeah. Okay.
That's not very good.
Yeah. All right. So you feel hidden.
Yeah, but instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 key points and cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay. So you feel so hidden.
Fuck
You decided to hedge your bets.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, which means that because he's within 30 feet of me, if he decides to hide, Varix also gets that buff, if anything happens.
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm going to do.
Alrighty. Okay, cool. And I'm going to call that your bonus round because in my infinite DM wisdom, I forgot to roll for all of my enemies. Anyway, so
At
At least they don't
their
keep
initiative is on the
duplicating
board.
themselves on the board.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and now there's several different copies. That said, so now the Carabiner Network Guard is going to start approaching you. And Ed, since you are they're coming towards you. You know what? They're coming towards you. We're not going to get too complicated. They're coming at you, Ed, and they are going to start to board you. They're coming up to this door, and they are coming for you. It is 2, 3, 30, and then one of the one of the Esper talents actually Misty steps their butt right to the door and right in front of you.
Do they walk through my door?
No, they're walking through my door.
Yeah, because it was the first two were a Carbiner Guard, and his only action was to try to get towards you, and he sets up sorry, I did more than one thing at once. 1 second. That's what's gonna happen next turn. This next turn. Oh boy, my brain. Come on, brain. I need you to just work right for 1 second. 1 second.
No.
So this is going back to our Carbiner Network Guard. He kind of takes a position close to the door, and with his gun ready. So you've got a Carbiner Network Guard that's about to fire on you, and an Esper talent that's right in front of you. Now shifting back to the Esper talent, because I'm going to leave the guard holding his action to shoot. The Esper talent is going to use a spell on you. I just have to go find what that spell is. 1 second.
Viv, don't forget that everything is rough terrain as well.
Right. So their movement is actually halved. Thank you for the reminder. So they actually aren't up close and personal with you. They probably move half that distance.
Misty Step.
Yeah, I know. You're so excited. Misty Step would Misty Step would still have worked. So Misty Step, that Esper talent is still up close and personal.
Yeah, fuck them.
This Carabiner Network Guard, not as close, but can still shoot you. So, let me see. Where did you go? There you are. Alrighty. All right, and they are going to... Rather than fight you, she sort of takes a step back from you, moves to square away, and so that she's trying to be out of range of you, and says, "Drop your weapons and let us board." And on your side, can you roll me a perception, please?
Okay. We're on normal. We're doing perception. That's not
Sorry,
fantastic.
I just read the chat. Happy tea time. All right, let's see. What did you roll?
A dirty 20.
Oh, okay. Well, Ed, that is very... I love this. Okay. So there's something funny going on here with this Esper talent. They haven't tried to attack you, but you can see something weird happening with for just an instant, just 1 instant. You see her image blinks, almost like a blip in a TV.
She's hacking.
She's
lagging.
oh no!
I was literally gonna use that word. This bitch is fake. Okay. And she's not attacking me, but she's
trying to talk you down.
And are these measurements accurate? So she's just 10 feet away from me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's gonna make a face. He's gonna take his quarterstaff. Can I just sort of have him
okay,
wave it around, at her knees to see if she's fake?
To see if she's fake?
Yeah, like an illusion, or a projection.
I feel like that would be something that you would be able to do on your turn, not necessarily as a reaction.
Well, I'll fucking prove that shit
and
later.
She didn't attack you, and I think attacking you is the trigger for your held action, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Well, it wasn't an attack, so I guess I wasn't thinking of it like that. Anyway, he's gonna look her up and down, and assuming that he's talking to some sort of hologram or projection, he'll be like, "Make me."
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And since
Here we go.
for her talking is a free action, so she's actually going to respond to you and say, "You asked for it."
Yeah.
And hold on, I got to pull up her sheet.
Ew.
She's a level 20 sorcerer.
Not quite.
I don't even know
No,
if I have any.
19, same thing.
19. And she's gonna start. You actually see her preparing a spell, so she's holding her action for her next turn.
Called it.
So, yes, yeah, called it. You're so smart, SMRT. All right, I'm trying to look. For some reason, my table is now screwed up because I did roll for them, but it doesn't want to add them to like the counter for some reason. So that's fine. We're fine. It's fine. This is my life.
Oh, you hear that, guys? She called me smart. Oh.
Yeah, you're so smart. Oh, it did it right. No, it didn't do it right. Okay, it's fine. So I'm gonna just kind of breeze through. Like a lot of them rolled pretty high. Let me see. I'm gonna breeze through all of their turns since they didn't technically get one and were on the roll before. Essentially, they're moving at half distance, so they're halved to 15. So what you see them doing is they're trying to like power through these trees. They cannot tell that this is an illusion or not, so they're just going back to their military training or what they think is military training. And Ed, if you're still watching this with a dirty, I'm going to let you ride that dirty 20. You can see that there's something off about the way these guards are moving. They're not as, their movements aren't as sharp or as practiced as you've seen Carabiner Network guards be. Carabiner Network guards are kind of elite soldiers, so the fact that they're moving kind of awkwardly is weird to you. Because you also know that the Carabiner Network guards don't exactly send cadets for stuff like this. Just FYI. And I think from here, let me see. Let me move into the guards. Who was next? My Esper talent went. And then, but you don't really have much time to think about it because the next guard kind of fires on you.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
He's firing. You see him set up with his laser gun, and he fires a blast at you. I don't know how well he rolled. Did it roll? It did not roll. Hold on. There it goes.
Shotgun.
So that's 2 piercing. I didn't roll for him. It just says it's 2 piercing. And I know it doesn't automatically hit. That would be mean. What kind of DM would it be?
Why I did that to my players? Do it.
It's ranged weapon plus 3 to hit.
In much like the stormtroopers in Star Wars, it goes wide and misses, and actually almost hits the Esper talent that's in front of you.
Oh.
And you hear her growl and yell back, "Watch where you're pointing that thing!"
Was this like the second day? What are you working with here?
Oh my God!
Everybody else too busy?
Come on.
Come on! I'm walking
Bad
here.
decision making.
All right, that's fine because there's another guard that sets up and tries to take another shot at you.
Fantastic.
So it's kind of how we roll around here. We're just gonna. Well, it's a +2 piercing, so I'm just gonna roll a flat d20. You can tell that me and Roll20 are still new to each other.
Ooh. Swing of the miss.
Yeah, it's another misfire. So it actually bounces off the trapdoor this time. Like you just hear, it like whizzes by you. They're channeling their inner stormtrooper today. I got to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, you're doing really good. These kids are fantastic. Fantastic. Good job.
And then now one of the Esper talents is going to try to fire in these like trees and stuff. Because I keep forgetting that there's trees here because I don't see them physically in front of me.
They are hallucinatory.
Yes. So from around the trees, the Esper talent tries to fire a magic missile at you.
We need that to happen to the monk.
That still doesn't hit me.
That's a 17 to hit. So 2 force, it missed. So all 3, but let me see something on you for you. 1 second though. I want to check something. See how I describe this. There you are.
Wait, magic missile?
Yes, it was magic missile.
Are you DM rolling it?
Are you
'Cause magic
attacking the
missile-
darkness?
Because magic missile, as far as I know, is an auto hit.
It said 17. I'm going by what Roll20 was telling me.
Okay.
So it doesn't say anything about it being an auto hit, but I am not an expert in D&D. I'm still very new, so
It's all good. We don't want it to hit Lev anyway, so.
Yeah, shut up, Knight. Whose side are you on? Are you trying to get me hit?
see, but now it's gonna bother me, so now I have to look it up.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I don't like being wrong if you can't tell, so I need to know whether I'm right or wrong. So I know where I need to improve on, because I can't be a better DM if I keep messing up.
What's the
Let's see.
I'm the kid that is like, what about the
question
homework?
is, for magic missile, do you have to roll to attack and hit, or is it an auto hit? And
auto
you
hits.
Yeah.
So it does auto hit.
Because it doesn't mention
All right.
having, on a success or whatever.
Yep.
Okay, so it does hit you.
I'm sorry.
And all three.
Yeah,
that's
fucking
okay.
shut
that's
up,
fine.
Knight.
Oh no. Well,
I'm so, I heard a
so-
discrepancy, and so my brain was like, wait a second, something's not right.
I'm
sorry.
glad. I'm glad you caught it, because I would have let it roll. I'm too easygoing for my own good. All right, so you've been hit 3 times. You take 6 force damage, because each one was 2 force.
Okay. I don't even think I have any reactions. How shitty is that?
Does that count? No, you can't really attack back.
That sounds like an Ed problem.
It is an ed problem.
And then at this point, let's see.
I mean, like, I kind of have
Yeah.
stuff that I can do, but, like, it's, I mean...
You
there's
were
no
holding an
save.
action, and the trigger was to attack. So are you going to attack someone?
I mean, the
Because
only
you were
person I could
attacked.
attack was this talent bitch in front of me.
I mean, you could.
I have my quarterstaff. Do I want to do it? Oh, I really don't want to hit anybody. Because as soon as I hit somebody, my face is just... No, I'm not going to do it. I'm fucking pissed, but I'm not going to do it. Not
Okay,
yet.
so just because the trigger has gone off, I don't believe you can continue to hold that action.
If that's the case, that's the case, but I'm still not going to hit
Yeah.
anybody yet.
Okay, all right.
Damn it.
So that was the Esper Talent's turn.
And that was...
And then you've got the other guards setting up. You've got another guard getting ready to attack. So
What about the
that's-
allies in the ship?
The allies in the ship? Yvain is out of combat. She's in the cockpit trying to get the ship booted up.
And what about the one who went down to the engine?
The gentleman that you met earlier, who has not introduced himself yet,
Yeah.
is working on the engine. He's also out of combat. What we can basically, if you end up in the same room as the NPC will operate on your turn. Is how I'm running it, just to make the combat less confusing for me.
Mm-hmm.
So especially today. Today is not the day to confuse myself.
Sorry.
But yeah, that was my plan. It's okay. It's okay. I know I do things different. I'm not your traditional DM.
No,
so it's fine. That's fine.
Oh,
I'm gonna
bitch.
just what?
I knew I had something, and it's my polearm mastery. When people enter my range, they can provoke an attack of opportunity. Fuck. I knew it was something.
You really need to hit this Esper talent, is what I'm hearing.
No, I mean, I'm not going to do it now because the time has passed. But if that bitch moves around me again, she's going to get it. She's going to get it.
Okay,
All right.
more shots are being fired your way.
Yep.
So just a moment.
My firebolt.
Your firebolt. Are you firing a firebolt?
I mean, she was holding it if anyone got on the ship.
No one's on the ship yet.
Oh yeah, they're all at the door.
They're all at the door.
It's
No one's
because she's on the steps that it confused me.
Okay.
It's wizard
Yeah, she's on the
time.
steps, so she's not in the
Fireball.
It's all good.
ship. Okay, that's a. It still misses. You are so lucky. These people they're like, we took lessons from stormtroopers. We gotta know what we're doing. So that was their turn. You've got another shot coming in from another guard. And we're going to take that shot again. Struggle busting our way through this combat. That definitely misses. That goes wide, and like you hear a ping as it bounces off the top of the ship.
Are you adding the +3?
A +3 to.
It's a ranged weapon +3 to hit.
Yes, it still would have been. It still would miss.
No, but the 17.
The first shot,
might have
though, the 17 would have hit you.
What is wrong with all of you?
I'm sorry.
Fucking Christ.
They're coming.
It's not just me. I don't feel bad now. It's not just me.
It's the ADHD.
I'm minding my own business over here. I did nothing.
The ADHD, baby.
Oh, gotta love this. Gotta love this. All right, well, now it's the Esper Talon's turn. Ed, you made this decision to stand by the door, so I just want to let you know. Taking hits. This is one of the 3 Esper Talons that are towards the back here. And they're gonna fire a. Sorry, I've got to find their sheets. So this one is going to be a firebolt fired at you. So that is going to be. It misses. Cause it misses because it only they only rolled a 5, which is fine because per their turn. The next one is going to go, and they're going to try to fire a firebolt as well, and that was even worse. So both shots go way wide, and you just see like fountains of flame going in different directions, and you think from a distance, like if you're listening from a distance, you can hear something that sounds like cursing and swearing. They are not thrilled with this. Let's see, and then we have one more guard who is trying to take his shot. If he doesn't shoot his shot now, it'll never work. And then
The shotgun just doesn't want to roll itself.
No, it really doesn't. That's a natural 20. They crit, so that's you take 4. It hits you square in the chest, and you take 4 piercing because it's double damage on a natural 20.
Hey, yeah.
Well, it's 4. Weak fucks.
Yeah, take you take that 4 damage. Okay.
Yep, and if
So
anybody
I
in
need to
the
see-
anybody in the ship would have seen that. Obviously, that looks like pretty fucking shitty. Ed's still acting. So, if anything, he might have taken a step back on his heel just from the force of it pushing him back and hitting him square in the chest, but didn't. If anything, he just looks more pissed. It's like, Fucking Christ, these
All right.
people with their lucky shots. Fucking kids.
All right. Now I'm gonna try to incorporate these people in the turn order. I think I just figured out what happened. But at the top of we're going back to the top of the round, and as we get back to the top of the round, you start hearing sirens going off.
Oh, fucking
in
fantastic.
the port of Corona, and you hear the automated voice go on, going, emergency, emergency. Pirates have invaded the port of Corona. Please be on the lookout for anyone dressed as a Carabiner Network guard or any other official of the Carabiner Network.
Oh, fucking rich. No wonder you guys are such shit shots. Now I don't feel fucking anything, and I'm getting ready to. Oh my god, make it my turn.
Love is like, I got some payback to do. Kalani, it is your turn
now.
The jig is
Lev
up.
is angrier than Ed.
Don't piss off Ed. Got it. This dude's gonna rage like, whoa.
So Kalani would have heard the voice at least from the stairway area then. But I have to sidestep in order to see her, correct? Or can I
It's
see
like
her?
it's the big autophone, like the automated voice that you hear in like you can hear this voice. This is meant to be heard across things, and you can hear you can start to hear the noise of engines taking off. There are people screaming if there are people screaming, you can hear all of these things happening. Chaos is starting to blossom around you. If you stick your head out and you want to look for more, you'd have to roll for it, but you can see stuff.
I meant this one. Can I see her from where I'm standing, or
the one by the door?
Yeah.
Yes, you can see her.
All right. Then I'm gonna firebolt her.
Okay. Roll for attack.
That's a
Okay.
25.
Wow, it's a 25 to hit. That definitely fucking hits. All right. So, roll for damage.
So, I clicked the wrong thing. Where did it go? There it is. Take 7, you butthole.
Okay, so that Esper talent took 7 damage, and she just sort of reels back, and you see. Actually, I need to roll for something. She's got to roll because she's on the edge of this thing right above the water.
I like that we're still calling
This is
them
gonna
Esper
be good.
talent.
That's what magic users are called in this world. They're called an Esper talent.
Oh,
So this,
even if they're pirate talents?
even if they're pirate talents, they're still called an Esper talent because
Cool.
magic is related to the Espers.
And how bad of a shot they are, I don't know if I call them talented.
Those are the
Ooh.
Carabiner Network guards, not the 2 of them are really crap. Yeah, never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. She has to roll for Dex. Let's see. How did
Kalani's
she
just
do?
like,
yeah.
I do not believe
so
we said you could get on our ship. If you could,
you
please
say
leave.
this as she falls off. She falls off from the force of your blow and into the water.
Ouch.
So that's 1 enemy down. I'm gonna take her off the board.
I love it. That's the end of my turn.
Yay!
Woo!
Alrighty. So that is alrighty. So the next up on the board. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out why my people didn't roll, and it's annoying. All right, we're back to the Carabiner Network guard.
But
and
again, they're pirates.
the guy that looks like a Carabiner Network guard that you believe to be pirates. You have
Yeah,
not
I'm
confirmed
a
this
pirate.
yet. You were just advised that there are pirates in the port.
Dressed
So-
as
It's
Esper guards.
Yes,
It's confirmed.
just
Come at me, bro.
it's confirmed. So he's going to try to make his way up. And again, this is difficult terrain, so he's not getting up here easily because of the lush forest that's sprung up. So that's if he's 30, that's 5, 10, 15. He can probably get up to here and get in your face.
Ooh,
But you
that
know what?
provokes an attack of opportunity.
If he goes there,
Get him there.
you know what? He is going to be reckless, and he is going to go there, and he's going to try to He's going to shift from his gun to his wrist blades, so they pop out of this armor that you can see. And they are. The funny part is that these are standard issue for a Carabiner Network guard, but you know that the person that's in that suit is not a Carabiner Network guard, not from the way they're holding themselves.
Gotcha.
Get him, Ed!
May enter the reach you have with that weapon.
Yeah, go get him, man.
You've seen enough of these games to know what's what.
All right, I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna do it.
Do the thing.
Do it.
And that's a polearm.
You know you want to.
meaning polearm opportunity. Oof. 15?
Let me check their armor class. 1 moment, please. This is what happens when I don't have stuff memorized. Let me just tell you, my short-term memory is just trash.
What a weird.
My long-term memory is good on some days. AC. And you, what did you roll?
15.
That does not hit. You can
Okay.
see he actually gets out of the way. And the way he moves is, and you've been to in more than one bar fight, he moves like he's scrapped before. Like he's been in a couple scraps. So whoever this person is, it's not that they're foreign to combat, they're just foreign to this particular suit.
Gotcha.
So yeah. And that is was that your reaction or your turn? So we did Kalani, we did Carabiner Network Guard was coming
just,
at you.
He walked into my space, and I'm currently wielding my quarterstaff.
Okay, that was
which
your
means
attack
it was
of
an
opportunity.
Attack of opportunity, yeah.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to figure out because my brain got scrambled because I was dealing with something else. This is what happens when you do more than 2 things at once, kids. Anyway, so that brings us to the next turn. Yes, on one monitor. Cries. I need 3 monitors.
Cries in
Varix,
poverty.
You are up. Yes, Varix, you are up. What would you like to do?
I'm standing over the hatch to the engine room. Correct?
Okay. What would you like to do?
I'd like to go in the engine room.
Okay, you gonna try to lift open that door?
Yep.
Okay.
Me and my 3.5, 4 foot frame.
Okay, so roll me a strength check.
Yikes. This is not good. This is not good. Where's my character sheet? Why can't I find my character sheet? There you are. Strength check. Oh man, this is going to be great. Look, guys, despite my small frame, this is actually my best stat, all right?
Okay. Yeah, that's your best stat. You're going to want to turn your advantage toggle off.
Not that it helped.
The door...
Jesus.
So you try to open this door. You struggle to open it, and it does not budge. It kind of goes, and that's it. Like it makes that squeaky sound of like metal that's kind of been dislodged a teeny tiny bit, but that's it.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you would like to do?
Let me check one thing.
Okay.
So my Steel Defender goes technically on my initiative, just right after me.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I'm going to prepare an action to try to like lift it again, but I'm going to tell him to tell it to lift as well. So that way, when it comes to his turn.
So you want your droid to try to lift the door for you?
Yes, my ball droid with no arms.
Okay.
But hilariously. Let's see.
We can do this. I have a way for this to work.
It's about fulcrum, okay?
Look.
So do me a favor and go ahead and roll a strength check. Plus, does it have a modifier for anything? Does it have any modifiers? Do you know?
It has a
so
14
give it its
strength.
+2 modifier. So roll a d20 +2, and we'll see what it rolls.
I believe that's a dirty 20.
That is a dirty 20. Okay, for your Steel Defender. So you give up. You look at your Steel Defender, and you tap some keys on it, and it floats over to the door. And as you watch it, a little panel comes out from underneath it with a magnet attached to it, and it magnetically opens the hatch, forces the hatch up. But now
he
it's
stands there
stuck
and
to the hatch.
he does a little hop, and then he goes
Yes.
like waves and then jumps down.
So your steel defender is still stuck to the hatch, just FYI.
He'll be
Until
fine.
you deactivate this. It'll be fine. It'll be great. So you hop down into the engine room. For the purposes of this, we will theater of the mind the engine room, since it's far enough out of combat that it would be a whole other scene for you. In the engine room, you see the parts and pieces that comprise the engine. And knowing the system, knowing and being familiar with a ship's engine because you've worked aboard the Starweaver under the guidance of the chief engineer, you know that there is an access panel somewhere in this room. And working at that access panel happens to be the tall chiseled gentleman that you saw earlier very briefly before you were attacked. He seems like he's struggling and he's very frustrated, and you can hear cursing coming from the little flame over his right shoulder. The interesting thing is that this room is actually pretty dark. Again, it's that emergency light situation, but this man seems to be glowing with reddish, yellow, and orange light, and you can't quite pinpoint where it's coming from.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to theater the mind this, or for how long you want to, or if you want to continue with combat.
Well, I'm just explaining to you what you see.
Okay,
So
cool.
this, you have to, like, you opening the door is your action. Do you have any bonus actions or a reaction that you would like to use?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. No. I can
Okay, great.
I can branding smite something.
Well, there's nothing in this room that, unless you want to branding smite your ally, which
I don't think
is a
that'll go
method.
You just slap him
No,
on the
it wouldn't.
ass. You got this.
Okay, moving on. Next up
All
is the Carabiner Network guard, who is also going to struggle bust his way up this platform. 2, 3, 4. It's probably going to get up here, as he clumsily navigates through these trees, and he's going to take a shot at you, Ed, because you're the only one that he can see.
Yeah.
So you're a walking target. Yay!
They only have eyes for you, Ed. It's fine.
When the moon hits your... Anyway,
Like a big fireball. That's not good.
it's the wrong cheese. All right.
Not good. That's shut up.
Okay. So that's all right. It's gonna do 6 piercing if it does hit, but it didn't tell me if it hit, which is fine. All right. Now it's okay.
No.
It does not hit. That goes wide. All right. So that's fine because the guy behind him is coming too, and
Oh.
he's gonna also struggle bust his way because it's another guard. It's another guard's turn. Struggle busting his way up here. He tries to fire at you. I love that Ed's just standing in this rain of bullets. Like, what is happening?
I'm starting to feel like
Yeah.
Owen Wilson's character in Shanghai Noon when he's going up against the people in that church and he just comes out with holes in his like monk robe and talking about being invincible. Like
Yep.
he just stupidly believes that, yeah. That's what I'm getting right now. All right. Here we go again.
That's a
Another
natural
one.
20, so you take 4 points of piercing there.
Oh,
Or actually, no, 14. 7.
Yeah,
It's
I
at
was
7
gonna
this
say
time.
14. Yeah.
This was a very good shot. You can feel this laser pellet as it like pierces you, because it's like it fires a small bolt. Like it looks like a little bolt of light, but it's like just a little bit like of a laser pellet, and it just like hits you. Not enough to do lethal damage, but definitely enough to do some damage. So
Okay.
There we go. And now we move into our Esper talent. And the Esper talent is going to cast Firebolt.
Can I assume safely
you.
that it's at me? Yeah, okay.
Yes, it is. And you can assume safely it's at you, and it goes wide. It falls just short of like getting to you. And you're just standing there like, really, man? Like, come on. And then last bit, we have one more Carabiner guard that's gonna try to get up close and personal with you. Let's see, he's there. It's probably not gonna get more than here because that's half. It's about half. 15, yeah, that's half. To try to fire at you. So off goes another shotgun.
Go to the other door.
Yeah, that definitely like hits the ship. It puts a dent in the ship, and which is kind of bad. And it almost hits like his allies again.
Damn.
Which is pretty bad. But that's okay because now it's your turn, Ed. So what do you want to do?
It is. All right. So I'm gonna fucking rage because I'm pissed. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on my rage damage here. Bring one of those down. Okay. Getting a bonus to the damage roll, increases the resistance, lasts for a minute. Okay, and I know that I have to rage first for this.
Mm-hmm.
When you make your first attack on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on melee weapon attack rolls using strength during this turn, but attack rolls against you have an advantage. Well, I don't want that. So I'm not gonna do it.
Maybe don't do reckless this time.
Well, you're
I don't
right.
think you have to be in a rage to reckless. I'm double checking myself
No,
right
you can
now.
choose. It's one or the other. They're two separate things. You can do rage and reckless.
I think I'm thinking of Divine Fury. It says,
Yeah.
while I'm raging, the first creature I hit on each of my turns with a weapon attack takes extra damage equal to 1d6 plus half my barbarian level, necrotic or radiant. Okay, so okay, there's so many things. So I'm gonna attack this motherfucker in front of me.
Okay.
I'm going to attack him with just my quarterstaff, two-handed. I used my bonus action to rage, so I'm going to use my attack action to attack. See, here's where I have a question. So I'm going to attack with my quarterstaff, just two-handed.
Right.
So I'm going to do that.
Yes. Roll to
Hoping that I
attack.
hit a dirty 20.
Yes, that's a dirty 20, so you do hit.
Okay. So that means it was 5 bludgeoning damage is what he got. And then I used my
Plus 2
attack
rage,
action.
though, isn't that?
Yeah,
Right.
is
So
that
that's
damage?
7?
Yeah.
7 damage, okay.
I don't have a bonus action to do my polearm mastery thing because I'm raging. But I do have Divine Fury, so while I'm raging, the first creature I hit on each of my turns takes the 1d6 plus half my barbarian level, which is 4, so I did not click on my thing because I'm an idiot, so I'm just going to roll a d6.
Yeah, that's fine. Roll a d6.
Which is 6 plus 4, so plus 10.
Yeah, so you wail on this Carabiner guard, or this person that's dressed in a Carabiner guard suit, and you beat the crap out of him. How would you describe you finishing this guard?
Is he dead? Is he dead?
Yeah!
Christ. Okay. So, yeah, I would have completely built up and fuming from the 2 attacks that I'm assuming have hit my chest at this point. I fucking wail on this guy, and before he can even have a chance to fall back into the water, I'm gonna use my quarterstaff to literally pin him. Oh man, I'm just imagining really bad things. Yeah, to knock his ass out and pin him down and just I'm gonna take a killing blow to his face. and then I'm going to kick him off the
so-
edge into the water.
That feels right.
Okay. All right. So as you finish him and you knock the killing blow out of his face, you hear a squish as you realize the armor has disappeared and the illusion that he was wearing has faded. And what you see what you throw into the water isn't a Carabiner Network guard, but a creature that looks a little bit like a frog. It's like a frog man.
I know that's cute though.
Dressed in tattered clothing.
And now
It's a slad.
Clothing that like pirates'
God.
clothing. Yeah.
the pirate frog is
Oh
broke.
no!
It's gonna be-
And so this guy is down. No more of that guy. So that's cool. He's out of the turn order. That means
bonus action.
that next up. Yes, do you have any
Yeah, that's
bonus
me.
actions or reactions you would like to take?
I used my bonus action to rage, did an action plus all that bonus shit. The only thing I'm gonna do is where can I move that I'm not seen, where I'm not in immediate view? Oh, you see, but that's not-
Away from the door, for one.
right. I guess I'm
But
just
you
confused
can, like-
about where the view of the door begins and ends. Is it like is
So
it just
the
these two
guards that
squares
are-
right here? Like
Yes,
that's the
so
opening.
like those two squares right door. That's the opening where like the door would be.
Okay. Fuck. Yeah. I'm going to move Ed just over here to like flank this side. Like he's got his back sort of like
Okay.
to this wall here so that he can, potentially just fucking wail on anybody that comes in, but I'm not trying to get hit, Like I'd like to maintain rage, but also
You
help.
didn't make yourself. Yes. All right. You didn't actually try to get your ass kicked on purpose. I gotcha.
Mhm.
All right. And is that everything you would like to do?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Annie, you're up.
Annie's still a little punk ass. Annie's going for the cockpit.
Okay. So you're entering the cockpit then?
Yes.
Okay, great. So as you enter, you see Yvain frantically working at the controls, and she's cursing to herself. And how are you being stealthy about this, or are you just rushing in?
Stealthy still.
Okay, so she doesn't
I'm a
immediately hear
weenie.
you, and she doesn't immediately hear you, but you can hear her saying, "I can't remember how this works. I remember that there's a phrase or a word, but I can't remember what that is."
Is there anything I can do to help jog your memory?
Yvain almost jumps out of her skin when she hears you, and she turns around and she's like, "Oh, the ship, it's protected by a cipher. It's supposed to prevent people from hacking it, but I can't remember what the word is." And she motions you over to a control panel. And she shows you her data pad, which is frantically trying to analyze this language, but it keeps coming up with an error.
Do you have Thieves' Cant in here by any chance?
No? What is that?
Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. Let me look at this. I'm gonna try to use my knowledge of Thieves' Cant to see if that helps in any way, shape, or
Okay.
form.
Are you going to use your data pad to assist with this as well?
Yes.
Okay, so you input, your data pad has knowledge of Thieves' Cant and Kazeni language.
Yes.
And as you enter this in and it begins to analyze, it takes a minute. It has the analyzing with 3 ellipses on it next to it, and then it pops back up, and it says Thieves' Cant found, like match found Thieves' Cant, and you realize that this is a cipher that's connected to several different languages, and if the language is loaded onto your data pad, it will activate the cipher. So it starts transcribing the cipher. So what I would like you to do, the way this is going to work is you're going to give me a roll. Oh my God, I got to go to my notes to figure out what you're rolling for. You're going to be rolling investigation. And for every successful investigation check that you make, you'll figure out one line of the cipher.
I think I figured out one.
24.
Okay. Let me see. Well done. Okay, so you figured out a line. So you watch this. I'm going to consider this your action for the turn, just so that we can keep moving. But as it can, you see the letters move and they move quickly, and then you see the first one, the first cipher come, and it says "to the."
Oh, I think I'm figuring it out. I was actually coming in here to see if there's like, it's the cockpit. I was wondering if there was like a riflery area where I could shoot there's some bad guys, so I kind of wanted to shoot them. But this is more fun, so I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Okay, Evan like throws her hands up like the cannons are in the back.
Oh, good. I'm in the wrong place anyway. I'm glad I'm here.
Evan just goes back to her work and says, "Just help me figure this out so we can get out of this port."
I'm on it.
And does that conclude your turn? Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I don't think, unless I can use a bonus action to try to speed myself along, I don't think there's anything else for me. I'm just going to keep ciphering.
No. Yeah, I think ciphering is where you want to be.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings us to the next Esper talent, who is very pissed off that now Ed has run away. They haven't been able to board the ship, so they're going to Misty Step all the way up here. Hold on, I think, can they Misty? They're not. I don't think they can Misty Step that far. Hold on.
30 feet.
I've got 30 feet. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. That's why I was like, that's too far for a Misty Step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, 30. She can Misty Step up here. So they're gonna Misty Step right up there, and use the rest of their movement to try to get up to the door and see who's there.
There's a second door that they can go to.
Yeah, except that where they saw Ed was the first door, and that's who they're coming for.
I just want my plan to work.
It's all coming up.
She
Ed.
like. Right, it's all coming up Ed. So she sticks her head in and like looks around, and you guys aren't hiding. Kalani and Eric's and Ed, right? Well, Ed is behind cover. So you probably would immediately see Ed, but she would see Nerix and Kalani if they're not making an effort to hide.
That would have been the smart thing to do.
Yeah, I can't do attack of opportunity again, I don't think so.
Did you spend your reaction?
Okay, so
I don't have any reactions to spend, so I thought that if I used it once in a round, that was technically it, which I have.
Have you already taken your turn again?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, reactions do recharge. Yes, I know this. You
Tis
know
time,
this.
my
You're the one who
friend.
told me this rule, Lev.
It's time.
I'm
Got your
sorry, I
back.
completely
have an
forgot. There
attack?
were so many like villains ahead of me. I didn't even think about it.
Okay. All right. Well, here's what's going to happen. The first thing that they're going to do is firebolt at Nerix and Kalani. So that's only a 7. So I'm pretty sure that goes wide. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. So that means, Ed, if you wanted to take your attack of opportunity.
Yes.
Okay. Go for it.
Make a melee, you gain bonus damage. I'm keeping my rage. I'm not going to keep Divine Fury because it's not my turn.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn that off. And I'm just going to do my polearm opportunity attack, which is this. Which is a 17.
Okay, 17. That definitely hits. Let me see something here. She has no reactions at all.
That's it. Hit. And I can't even see what the actual...
She does not. Okay, cool. So that's it.
It says rage damage. Do you guys see...
Because were you still raging?
Yeah.
Were you still raging?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Didn't
so
it
then it's
roll
rage
your
damage, but I don't
damage?
see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is can you guys
Didn't roll
see
your
my
regular
damage?
damage.
Okay.
No.
No, it didn't roll your regular damage. Go ahead and roll for the regular damage as well.
Okay, so I'm just gonna use the quarterstaff then.
Mhm. Okay, so
7.
that's 7. So she takes 7. She gets struck for 7, and she like reels back. Like she actually stumbles a little back out of the door a little ways from the attack with like a kind of a sound. And that's her turn. Now it's Nerix's turn.
Okay, seeing that Ed has taken a step back, I need to move a step forward to even see outside through the stairs, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Seeing them coming up, I'm going to... Knowing that they're no longer Carabiner network guards, at least enough, I'm going to... Alright, let's try out a field test. And she's going to start... The lights on her start glowing, and she's going to... I believe it's a bonus action to go into her starry form.
Okay, so you're going to be using your Esper talent known as a starry form. As you do this, Kalani, your tattoos also react and begin to glow brightly as well.
And you'll see the color from her skin and clothes and everything starts to like turn into sort of a void before stars start appearing along the joints of her, including on her tentacles all the way down. And including the face tattoos. And a part of going into starry form, I'm going to choose the archer.
Okay.
And send out a... Lift up her hand and send out a small little glowing beam from one of the stars on her hand.
I believe for starry form you do have to roll to attack, correct?
Yes, but I don't think there's an actual thing, so I might have to do just a straight roll and go from
Just do a straight roll with the modifier as needed. That's fine.
You got it, huh? I want to say it's a plus. It's more than I thought it was. 19.
It's a 19. That hits.
Awesome.
Where are you aiming? Are you aiming at this Esper?
I'm aiming at the Esper in front of us.
Okay, no problem. So you hit roll for damage.
Yeah, okay, so that's gonna be 8 plus 5. Gonna be 10 damage.
Okay. And she recoils and bends over, and the illusion around this Esper breaks, and you see another frog creature, like a frog creature, stumble off the pier and into the water. So they're also gone.
They're frogs, they'll be fine.
With this attack. Yes.
And now she's going to... I just said perfect. Now she's going to move forward a step so she can see down the staircase. And she's going to lift her hand up in the air and say, we should really stop them from coming through this door. And I'm going to cast Moonbeam right on the one, right,
Starry form. Starry form is part of your wild shape, right? Because I'm trying to determine if this is 2 spells for a turn or not.
It is a wild shape. It is a bonus action wild shape.
Okay, so it doesn't count as a spell necessarily in the terms of like a spell attack.
If anyone wants to confirm that, I'm still new to Druid.
Yeah.
It does not.
Yes. Okay, great. So then you can do that.
Yeah.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't 2 spells in a turn.
Ball of light. It's pretty cool.
We love a druid.
Okay, great. So yes, druids rock. I know this because I also have a circle of stars druid. I love her too. Yes.
Very.
But I love that.
In my life.
I love how broken they are. Never change.
Yes,
monks.
they are.
Or
Me
never
too.
change druids.
Anyway, so there's now
druids,
I believe there's not. How big is your moonbeam?
It's a 5-foot radius, so I'm doing it right on basically this wooden plank.
Yes, so there's a 5-foot radius on the wooden plank of Moonbeam. If you're doing it on the wooden plank, you are going to hit this Carabiner guard right here, which means his, and I believe Moonbeam, let's see.
It's a con save.
Yeah, they're going to have to roll a con save, and they're going to... I'm just trying to see if his illusion is going to last or not.
That means they only have one door to go through, baby!
Yep.
Yes! Well, if they don't want to get their illusion stripped, yeah. Because I believe he can no longer hold his illusion of a Carabiner guard. He
instantly reverts to its original form and can't assume a different form until it leaves the light.
Correct. So now you are looking at a very built frogman.
Are there shapeshifters?
Is he green? Is he blue?
You don't know that yet. You don't know what's going on here. You just know that the Carabiner guard facade was a facade. They were not really Carabiner guards. The alarms are still going off, and the repeat of the announcement that there are pirates is continuing to go off outside as well. And you can really start to hear that. And the chaos of explosions and gunfire as well. There is a full-on attack happening in the port, but you're so busy defending yourselves that you haven't really been able to pay attention to what's going on in the port itself.
Dope.
Wait, so Kira asked about the shape changer because that's the stipulation for them losing their illusion.
Their illusion?
I only ask because they'll have to roll at disadvantage for Moonbeam. That's all I ask for.
They're not a shape changer.
Oh, cool.
Can at least tell you guys that.
They rolled a 4, so they definitely failed.
So that's 2d10 radiant damage.
Okay, go ahead and roll 2d10. Oh, this is gonna get real good. Okay.
Yummy.
Yeah, that frog starts to cook a little bit. You can smell some burnt. You can smell some nasty, swampy stuff. He's still alive, but barely, as he stands in the moonbeam. It is it smells sulfurious. Let's put it that way. If you ever smelled sulfur, that's the smell.
Who farted?
And you can hear the frog let out this croak, this weird, sickly croak, as it tries to figure out what's going on and get itself out of the moonbeam. Is that everything you would like to do?
That's all I would like to do. Thank you, love.
Okay. So that brings us to that guard. Or not that guard. That guard's actually the first one up. But that brings us to one of the other guards who is stumbling through this terrain. Was it a concentration, or how long does that rough terrain last?
Oh, the rough terrain?
The rough terrain you cast.
It lasts 24 hours.
Okay, yeah, so that's not going away.
But is it a concentration?
It is not.
Okay, that's fine. I'm trying to ascertain so I know how they're moving. So he's gonna get up to here, and he's gonna everybody that's still on the dock and has not climbed up has seen what's happened to their friend, and you can hear calls go out in a language that you don't know. It's a very guttural language, and the Carabiner guard sets up and tries to shoot at you. Tries to take a shot at you. So, pew. All right, I forgot the shotgun doesn't like rolling; it just likes to roll damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a 9, so it goes wide.
Yay!
And that's his turn, which brings us to the Esper talent. The Esper talent is going to Misty Step up to the door, not up to the door just beyond the moonbeams. It's a 5-foot radius, correct?
Yes, it is a 5-foot radius, so it's just going to cover basically that wooden plank.
Actually, yeah, this one's going to do that. So it's just going to cover that wooden plank, and she is going to fire. You see her get ready another spell, and it's going to be another firebolt.
It was a Misty Step they did?
Yeah, they did a Misty Step.
Got it.
That was, yeah. It's only an 8, so these people really don't know how to use magic. Damn. So, yes. So it fires off into the night, fires wide of you, and the talent grunts and tries to pull the other the carabiner guard turns around and tries to like grab at the carabiner guard to get them out, and you can see their illusion like start to fade as they stick their hands into the moonbeam to try to help their compatriot. And you can see the web hands of another frog person underneath. All right, and that's their turn, and that brings us to, last but not least, Mason. All right, Mason, what are you doing?
Well, there's no immediate threats inside of this room, right?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to continue to hide.
There's a droid, a magnetic droid stuck on an open door. No.
Yeah, but the door is like. This is so weird.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I got it.
The hatch is open. If you wanted to go in, you could.
No, he's down there by himself, right?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, he's by himself.
Is this the only way into this room?
No.
The hatch is not the okay. So the hatch leads to the engine room.
That's what I mean.
There is one entry point from the main area. Yes.
That's what I mean. Is this the only? Is the hatch into the engine room the only way into the engine room?
Currently, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'm just gonna stay here because if anybody comes down to the engine room, I'm gonna whoop its ass.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I'm just gonna watch the hatch.
I'll get him.
If I only know there's one way, I'm just gonna listen, and if I hear anything going on in the engine room, I'll jump down on my
Hal
next turn.
finds people. He doesn't fight people.
But yeah, I'll wait, and if somebody comes in here looking for trouble, they get an ass whooped.
Okay.
All right. Okay. That brings us. if you're just chilling there, that's everything you'd like to do. We'll move on to Kalani.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold an action. I'll just hang tough.
Okay, Kalani, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Do you want me to go, or should we do our break?
Oh, good point. It is 7:30. We are at the top of the round, so the timing works out beautifully. We should, in fact, take our break, because I think if we continue this combat, we're going to be stuck here until the end, and we'll be like, what happened to our break? Why are we so thirsty? We never got our water.
Quench!
But yeah, quench! I think, yes. So this is about the point where we are going to take our break. This combat, man, are they going to get off Corona, or are we just going to be stuck here for the whole game? Let's see. But anyway, as I like to say, go get a drink, grab a snack, and not that I'm encouraging this, it's an old saying that I just happen to enjoy saying. Smoke them if you got them, and we'll see you in 10. As we I hope you all have had time to grab a drink and a snack. We are still in the thick of combat. I finally got my drink, and just in case you haven't noticed, we do forget to trigger the pocket dragon time. That's why you guys get to collect fairy dragon scales and cash them out and make us drink water every time you ask us to toast. So cheers to you. Every time you want to hit that cheers button, we'll have to drink water. But not too much, otherwise we'll have to go to the bathroom.
That went up my nose!
So, oh no! In any case, let's go ahead and finish up this combat, okay? All right, so whose turn? They were at Kalani. Kalani, what would you like to do?
Hold on, Vix. You're really lagging on my end.
I'm lagging. I'm lagging.
Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. One moment, please. Yes. I'm right on my screen too. Good.
I like that on the stream. I'm watching the stream because I like to have that trippy. It looks like Viv's or Vix is doing the hologram thing that the guards were doing.
Yes, my hologram thing. 1 second. I think I might have to actually log out and log back in. It might be a ninja thing because I don't know where it's coming from.
It's probably a ninja thing, but I'm going to pretend that you're just doing the same character as the guards.
Blinking in and out.
Please. Your view is important to us.
Look,
quick, while the DM's gone, how can we ruin this session?
We already have. Vixie is such a dedicated DM.
I'm going to go invisible and leave all of you to die.
Barracks starts the expunge system.
Yeah, I'm just going to start the self-destruct timer on the ship and then run.
Yeah, Annie just accidentally hacks the wrong part of the ship and it just gone.
I'm going to turn off the whole... I'm going to overload the warp core and then disable shields.
Yeah. Ed's like, just my fucking luck.
You telling me this wasn't the right button? I thought it was correct. It was red and everything. It meant press it. Everyone knows you pressed the red button, not the green button.
Exactly.
Look.
Sometimes when there's two buttons.
You can't tell the difference.
You're right. Dogs, man, they have a rough time.
Could be colorblind. We never know.
Could be colorblind.
That's why you never hire a werewolf to do your bomb squad.
What about your taxes? Welcome back.
Sure.
Welcome back,
I trust
Nick.
him.
You are green now. You are also a floating boy. I don't have the sound on, but it seems to be working.
I just don't know if I can continue with combat, and I don't know where Disso is, so I don't know what's happening.
There we go. You're
Okay.
there.
There you are.
Okay. All right, great. So let's go ahead and move on with this combat. Kalani, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Sorry, I was distracted by the chat.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but yeah.
Let's see. It works so well the first time. If she's able to see the Esper that's right there, or does she need to move a step forward?
Did you say which Esper are we looking at? The one right there that firebolted? You can see them. Like you might want to get a little closer if you're going to aim something at them, unless it's ranged.
It's a firebolt again.
Okay. Okay, so go ahead and firebolt. We'll roll for firebolt.
Does a 12 hit?
12 does not hit.
A pew pew pew. And she's like, oh,
So
nope.
it goes wide. Yeah.
One step back again.
Yep.
And that will end her turn because she's got 0
Okay.
bonus actions that I can think of.
All right, so that brings us to the Carabiner Network guard, who is now, you can see, is a frog man as he stumbles out of the moonbeam to try to get closer to you. And he tries to fire his shotgun one more time at you.
Got a sawed-off shotgun. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a taxman.
Well, you can actually see what it is now, and it is very much a sawed-off shotgun. It's a natural 20. So they just crit. So
You
take,
joked about that. What?
I didn't know that was a thing that was okay. Well,
Why'd you
so you're gonna
personify
take
that?
you take 13 points of piercing. Like
Quick
as you
question
turn around to
first.
try to get away.
Okay, me. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Wait, who are you shooting at?
As you turn around, she was shooting at Kalani. Kalani
Oh,
came
I'm
up to
sorry.
attack and firebolted. Yeah. no.
Before that happens,
So-
though, does
Mhm.
they start their turn in Moonbeam? They still take damage.
They do. How much damage do they take?
They have to do, I think, another con save.
Okay, and that'll determine their damage.
They die before they actually shoot, so the natural 20 just goes into the ether.
That's a
They take half
17.
damage.
They're gonna take half damage then, and
Okay,
hopefully
what's
I
half
save
damage?
my sister. What is that? That's originally it's 2d8. So half that. That's a nice 2. That's a 2 damage.
2d10.
Yeah, that's
Impressive.
they take 2 damage. And
2d10.
so
It's worth a try.
it's fine. So funnily enough, this is how it all plays out. The guard takes that initial damage and stumbles, and with some kind of unnatural, like, you know how you don't know you're dead, so you still think you're alive? That's how this shot goes off. Because immediately after firing, he collapses. And so, Nerix, you get hit. You still take the 13 points of piercing, but the guard is dead.
Kalani.
You mean Kalani takes the...
Kalani takes it. Sorry,
And
I
you
got
said,
confused.
you said how much?
It's 13 points of
13?
damage.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But that guy's gone.
Yay!
Yes. So, Varix, it is your turn.
All right, so Varix is immediately going to pull out his data pad, and with his bottom set of arms, he's going to send a quick message to his ball droid saying disengaged, so that way he lets go of the hatch and can follow him down.
Okay. Okay.
As Varix walks up to the man, finagling with the systems, can I look and see if the parking brake is on?
There is no parking brake, but you do see him struggling with the panel, which seems to be written in some kind of cipher, and it's scrolling back and forth. You can see that you can infer that what he might be trying to do is figure out the cipher to actually access the engines. And you know that this is a practice that's often done with these ship engines as a means to prevent them from being hacked, or if the enemy boards a ship, a hostile party, if you will, if a hostile party boards a ship, they can't easily essentially steal. It's like an anti-theft mechanism that these ships come with.
Okay.
So, and as you approach, the fire on his shoulder goes ah, and like yells at you because you caught it by surprise. So what would you like to do?
I'm going to try to tug on his shirt. Okay.
And this 6'3" man looks down at you between the screaming and the tugging on the shirt, and he goes, and he looks at you and says, "What is it? Is everyone dead?"
I'll just point to the console and then gesture to me.
Oh, okay. And he looks at you for a moment and says, "Do you think you can figure this out?"
And I'll hop up and try to reach the controls.
Well, you know that this requires your data pad. So if you have your data pad on you, you would want to use that. What? So, all right. He actually helps you. He lifts you up and puts you on there, so you don't have to jump. And the fire's like, "Well, you better figure it out soon, because if we don't get off port, we're stuck here."
And I'll attempt to try to figure out this cipher.
Okay, so this is do me a favor and roll an investigation check.
Investigation. It's a good thing I'm good at those.
Okay, so
I have a +7.
+7 to investigation. Is that with your +7?
That's with my +7. I rolled a 5.
Oh.
Okay, so you are. The good news is that your data pad identifies a language that this cipher is written in. The bad news is that it's going to take it a while to figure it out because it's not a language that is native to it.
Okay.
So, however, you're trying to work this panel. You'll get there. Is there anything that you would like to do as a bonus action or as a reaction or anything else?
I'm just sitting here trying to figure out this cipher.
Okay.
I did tell my ball droid to follow me or to disengage and follow. So.
Okay, so it will do that. Its little magnet will deactivate. It'll pop back into place and it'll float down. It'll hover for a moment and kind of as if it had eyes, it would look at Hal, and then it'll go into the engine room. It'll go into the engine room to follow you.
Hal just feels a sense of disappointment from the ball droid as it just descends down.
It judges you like a cat. Anyway, it rolls down to find you, and I will allow, because it is your steel defender companion thing, I will allow a roll of investigation, like an investigation roll for it, if you would like to try to figure this cipher out.
Yes, please. So do I use...
Go ahead and roll investigation.
Do I use my investigation, or do I just add its intelligence?
You're going to use your intelligence modifier for this.
Okay.
Because you're programming it.
Fantastic. Let's try this again, please. Natural 20, baby! Ball droid for the win!
You got this!
Yes!
Ball droid for the win!
So as soon as your ball droid comes in, you kind of put your data pad up and you start typing into your ball droid, and your ball droid pops up a little hologram. It immediately identifies the language, and it starts figuring out the cipher. And you figure out the first line of the cipher. it says New Waters. And that'll conclude your turn. So moving on to the next person. That is another Carabiner Network guard moving through the freaking forest. And it tries to navigate their way out of the forest. They're actually going to try to go through the other door. They're going to try
Little
to
bunny
like,
Yes.
yeah, if I can come around to the other side, I can catch them by surprise. And
Oh no!
yeah, that's gonna
don't
be
do that.
That's gonna be his turn because he doesn't see anyone. There's no one to really target. But yeah, he's kind of going away from the moonbeam. He saw what happened to the other guy and was like, I don't want to be that guy. So that's gonna be his turn. Ed, you're up.
Oh, really? I thought there were 2 more people in front of me.
Nope,
I miscounted.
it was a lie.
Oh man, we are no closer to getting off this fucking port. It seems like.
Why'd we leave? It's so fun here.
The whole adventure is just in Corona.
You can never leave.
Oh my god. Okay. So it would take me 10 feet to get out there.
On a dark ocean harbor.
So I'm gonna move here. I'm gonna, I don't know, fucking twist myself outside the door, make my way out to the next person. I'm still raging, which means that I can still do Divine Fury. First creature I hit, but I'm gonna turn that on this time. Okay, and still have Polar Master, so I'm going to attack. Still doing two-handed with my quarterstaff at this point, so I should be able to just roll at this point. Looks like 17.
Okay, so it's a 17. That definitely hits. You hit the Esper.
Yeah, so that's a hit for 8 damage.
I believe this Esper. Yeah, this Esper's already taken damage, correct? From elsewhere?
I believe so, not from me. I think this is the...
No.
Yeah.
The reason that I'm asking is because that 8, I'm gonna ask you how you I'm gonna ask you to describe to me how you want to do this.
God damn it. It's close enough for me to do my bonus actions. I was so ready. Okay.
Give him a good paddling.
Does anything happen to me going through the moonbeam? Nothing happens to me, right? Because
nothing happens.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you would take damage or not, and they're not in the moonbeam. Yeah, they're not in the moonbeam, so I'm just asking you how you're going to finish them.
Right, yeah. I thought that I had to go through it.
No, you don't.
So
it's at the wooden part of the board.
Right. Having regained my breath, rather maybe my standing a little bit. Yeah, Ed would have just rushed through the door, and seeing the first person in their view would have again just gone fucking hammer time with the quarterstaff. Swinging down, swinging up, knocking people off their feet, and let's say before they're able to hit the ground again, smacks them against the face and sends them spilling off into the water. Okay. Really just burying people here.
They knocks them off into the water. They do not get on board. And does that conclude your turn?
I still have movement. I'm going to get my ass back on the ship.
Okay, cool. So you are going to get your butt back on the ship.
Yes.
Alrighty.
And I can't use my extra turn or my bonus action, my polearm.
That's okay. That's okay.
Oh, no.
But yeah,
if there's nothing else that you would like to do,
nope, I'm good.
Then Annie, you're up. And I'm gonna need an investigation check from you.
Yeah.
I will say you can roll with advantage because Yvain has started to help you.
Ooh, I'm gonna roll it again, but I think I made it with the first.
Oh, a 19 will do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with a 19.
Yeah, 19. 19 will do it. So you get the second line of the cipher. and this completes the cipher. So what'll happen is the full line is "To the stars we sail,"
To the start.
and once that cipher is in place and you hit enter, the entire cockpit lights up, and you now have access to the navigation systems and the ship itself. You can now program the ship to where you want it to go, and you can get it ready for takeoff.
All right. Well,
Yes.
where are we gonna go?
And then Yvain grabs you and points you in a direction of that monitor. Go to that monitor, and you're gonna put in the coordinates for Serpens. And Yvain goes to the other monitor and starts the protocols for getting off the planet.
Sweet. I'm gonna go to wherever she told me to go to.
It's just go over to the side there and do that.
I'm gonna do that.
Yes.
I'm gonna look up the coordinates for the system on my little thingy-majig, and
She's asking you to look up the coordinates for Serpens. You actually are familiar with Serpens. You've never been there.
I know.
But
I
you've heard
remember
it.
why that sounds familiar. Sorry, me as the
Yes.
player is behind. Absolutely giddy. Annie is immediately absolutely giddy and knows exactly what the coordinates are by heart.
Okay, great. So that's so that pretty much. Is there anything else that you would like to do here, or is that it?
I think that's all I can do because I just at this point I just want to get us off the out of
Off the island. We got to get off the island. All right. So
Sailing
Nerix,
away
you're
from
up.
the island. Cool wind in my hair.
You said Nerix?
Yes, I did say Nerix.
Nerix is going to take a step back towards her sister who was just hurt. And she's
Aw.
going to lay out a hand on her and it starts to glow and she's going to cast Cure Wounds.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead and roll for that. So you
Looks like-
take 12 points of healing.
Almost my
Gotcha,
full
Miss
damage
Kalani.
healed back, yeah.
Yes. Okie dokie.
And that'll
All
be my
right. Is there
turn.
anything else that you would like to do? Okay,
No, I
that's
don't
your
think
turn.
I'm within range.
Okay, so then that brings us back to the Carabiner guards, who once again are trying to get on the ship. They're struggle bussing because they can't get through this there's this difficult terrain. So and they're looking at each other. You can hear cursing coming outside because they cannot get on this ship. Between the moonbeam and being inhibited in their movement. One of the Carabiner guards tries to fire at the ship, specifically at the engines to try to damage them. So that's what his turn is going to be. He's going to aim, instead of aiming for anybody else, he's going to try to aim for the engines. And he puts a dent in it, but he doesn't do any real damage. It just adds to the battle scars that are on this ship.
Just
And
cosmetic.
as for, yes, and that's his turn. The Esper talent, though, is going to do significantly more. Is really pissed off, and is going to try to Misty Step from where she is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that'll put her right towards the door. And she is going to, or they are going to fire into they're going to use the rest of their movement to try to get in the door and get inside and come face to face with Kalani, Nerix, and Ed. And
Oh shit, I
they're
have
going
attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, you better get on that because she's about to firebolt y'all. So she's
Okay.
going to shoot off her firebolt.
Hit her in the face, Ed.
Yeah, it's a 12, so I don't think it hits anybody. I think it goes wide.
Yeah, it hit me anyway. I'm
Okay.
gonna yeah, attack of opportunity.
Go get your attack of opportunity, friend.
Doing it. 15. Damn
So
it.
15, yes, if it meets it, it beats it, you hit.
Bitchin'. Let's smack this bitch.
You gotta
All
roll
right.
for it. I see rage damage. I don't see the rest of the damage.
Yeah, just because it rolls to see if it hits at all before I even get the chance. Two-handed. So 8.
Okay, so she takes 8 damage, and it's rough. She looks pretty rough. She, because of everything that's happening, the illusion drops, and you see this sort of frog creature, like, burst out from this graceful, like, appearance of an esper, and it roars at you. Like, it does a froggy roar, which is weird because it sounds somewhere between a croak,
Like,
but it's like kind of gross too. Yeah,
Ew.
yeah, basically.
Fascinating. Scribble, scribble.
Scribble, scribble. And that's their turn. Mason, you're up. What would you like to do?
Oh man, I don't have any immediate threats in here.
Nope.
Uh,
Oh no!
Oh, damn.
This have happened. What the hell?
do I hear Varric still down there?
You can hear the sounds of typing, and you saw the droid disengage, glare at you, and like glare in quotes, and go back down there.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And this right here is the doorway out, right?
Yes, that is the doorway out. Mm-hmm.
And I can hear, obviously, can I hear like a lot of fighting in that room?
You can hear the sound. You can hear the sounds of battle coming from the common area. Yes.
Okay. Is it okay if I shift over to here and open the door?
And
or
you
is the
actually
door...
heard this like weird croak roar thing. So yeah, you can definitely walk through the door.
Okay. I'm
see
gonna
what's
walk
happening.
through. I'm gonna peek through the door. Can I see them obviously fighting something?
Yes, you can see them obviously fighting something.
Okay. Well, I gotta be that guy.
Oh no.
I'm gonna take a shot with my light crossbow.
Okay, take a shot.
Okay.
Shoot your shot, my dude.
Oh, that's to GM for some reason. 14.
Okay, so that's a 14. It does not hit. It actually
Does
goes
not
wide.
hit? Okay,
Just
that's fine.
misses. Just misses.
The awesome thing is I have crossbow expert, so I ignore reloading properties, so I can shoot again.
Yes.
So I'm
So
gonna do
you
that.
You can shoot again.
24 to hit.
And that definitely hits, and that does 7 piercing. So, as you guys are watching this frog creature get ready to attack you again, it suddenly gets struck in the throat by a crossbow bolt from behind you.
Ooh.
And how do you want to do this? They don't have very high HP. Like
I know.
this wasn't designed. They weren't designed to be durable.
We were supposed to have done this
Yeah.
a while ago.
I just I hear what's going on, hear the
It's
typing.
the
I'm
time.
like, okay, I kind of pop out. I'm like, oh, thwack. I'm just gonna dive back into the corner.
So you're gonna dive back into the corner, and that's it. So now you guys have a dead frog that smells like ass. I'm sorry. In front of you.
Lonnie just wants to take samples now.
Okay then.
Not the time,
Well.
Squib.
Oh my god. All
gonna
right,
try
and
to
that's
shove this
Mason's
thing
turn. Well, so now it is Kalani's turn. What would you like to do?
Lonnie wants some samples.
Kalani's gonna take. Is that what you're gonna use your turn for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Alrighty. Well, you're gonna take some samples. Roll me if you're gonna take some samples, go ahead and roll me an investigation check. I can't. Oh.
15.
Okay, you're able to successfully cut some stinky pieces of frog flesh from them.
I gotta keep up with our backstory. All right.
That's gonna be your
cover
turn,
story? I'm just
which is
making
good
sure we
because
got the
there's another guard coming up on the opposite door, the one that's trapped, and I believe his movement. Now that he's past the forest, he's not inhibited, so he's gonna come in through the door. Use his movement to get through the door. Load up his shotgun and fire at you, Kalani, because you just made yourself a target.
Because it's the trap.
Oh, right, it's the trap door. He didn't walk. Did he?
What
So
happened
what
to
happens
the
to the
trap?
Did he got that? Yes!
Where's your trap? Where's your trap?
Hey, it's
What
right
does
there
it
on the
do?
door. It's I thought you have to succeed. I'm sorry. I didn't expect.
I need you to tell my ability and tell me what I need to roll.
Has to make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
Okay, let's see if they succeed. Oh,
Also-
that's an 18.
Okay,
Oh.
well, the stun grenade that I had also put on this goes off as well.
Okay. What does it do?
The stun grenade, they have to succeed. They have to succeed another saving throw of some kind. DC 13 Constitution saving throw,
Con
or
saving
become
throw,
stunned.
Okay.
So
That's a 17. This guard is determined to fuck somebody,
Yo,
so to fuck
fuck
somebody's
you.
day up. I don't even know. I was the dice.
why
So
does
he comes
nothing
in,
I
he,
do
like-
work?
Just walks up and sees Kalani like,
So basically, this guard gets shocked by a grenade, and gets stuck, and gets like feels something weird happening at the door, and he's just like had enough. So and then he sees Kalani over his friend cutting off pieces of them, and it's not a good day for him. So he's gonna load up his shotgun, aim it straight at Kalani, and fire. And he's so emotionally overwhelmed by the fact that his friend's getting cut up, he misses. And it beams wide.
I like to think my stun grenade did something.
Kalani
Yes,
just
we'll say it's your stun
like,
grenade.
Kalani slow turns back and says, "You're next."
Oh god.
Oh god.
That's not creepy at all. Okay, well, the good news is that's his turn, and Varix, you're up.
Yeah.
All right, so
It's time
I'm
to roll
still-
some investigation checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I plan on doing is just continuing the cipher to try to unlock the drive core.
That's fine.
All right, roll number 1. 11.
Ooh, not enough. Not enough.
Now-
But your steel defender does go after you, so if you
Yep.
want to roll for him, I'll allow it.
Yep. 10.
Oh,
Hmm.
and is the guy
Man.
not helping? The guy's
Well,
not
that's what I was
helping.
gonna say. He's not sure what's going on, but if you instruct him to help you, I'll let you roll that with advantage.
Fantastic, because I'm definitely doing that. After my first, the screen, I'm typing in, it went, "Brrr," and I'll
Yes.
point it at him and try to tell him to help me.
Well, and the flame says, "Wow, you're not good at this."
If I had a middle finger.
Kalani thinks the same thing. She's only got the 3. It just looks like she's
You have a middle
pointing.
finger.
Canonically, Varix is spocking it all the time.
Yes. All right. Well,
Right.
the man who is not the flame, calmly is like, "What can I do to assist?"
I'm going to point at this button, tell him to press it, and then I'm just going to point at separate buttons that he needs to press in order to
Okay.
activate certain systems.
So he does as you direct, and go ahead and roll that investigation. Perfect. There you go. So you have now figured out the rest of the cipher, and the other half of the cipher, it's new waters, new horizons. And once that is input, the panel unlocks, and you now have access to the engines. And he takes one side, and you take the other, as you both you both begin to prepare the engines, and they begin to roar to life as you start to do this. So the Nihilus is now ready to take off. Both the engine room and the cockpit are online. What would you guys like to do?
We need to close the doors.
Yes, especially because you have another guard that's on his way. Because the next two, because it's the Carabiner guard's turn after that, and there's another one making his way up to the trapped door.
I think
have a
Annie's
cat that
going to
just
yell
jumped on
from the
me.
cockpit. I think Annie's going to yell from the cockpit, "How do we close those doors?"
I'm going to flip a switch.
Oh my god, yeah. So, if you're gonna
Control
flip
the
a
button.
switch, Mason? Is that Mason that said that?
Nope,
Who's flipping a
Barracks.
switch? Oh,
Me.
Barracks, I was gonna say. No,
No, it's just-
I was gonna say. So when, in answer to Annie's question, Evane says, there's a switch! There's a switch by one of the doors that'll close them both.
That looks like he's next to it. Did he just shout my name? Did you literally just shout my name?
They're close to the doors.
Jesus. Oh my god. Yeah, I look like I'm right next to a panel, so like if I can recognize that there's a door button, I'm gonna fucking slam it.
Okay.
There's a switch by the doors.
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm laughing too hard. All right, so if you're gonna try to find the switch by the doors, your turn to roll an investigation check.
Sure.
Can he roll with advantage? Because I'm yelling, and there's a switch by the doors.
Well, he didn't say where by the doors, though. Just that it's by the door. Like, so there may be more than one switch in the panel by the door.
I don't think I have any. Yeah, there's no advantage for me on this.
Oh no!
It's a 12.
It's a 12. So you hit so this is the way it plays out. You hit the wrong button at first, and you accidentally like set the microwave. So like it starts going, and then you were like, oh, maybe it's this one, and that actually closes both
Who
doors.
puts that switch for the microwave next to the doors? Why does that make any sense?
The Nihilist is very old, and clearly some things do not work the way they should. So it's in need of an update and a rewire, perhaps.
Go to turn on the lights in the fridge door.
Should really
That
label
says the
all
door's
these.
shut. The door is shut. You are left with a carabiner guard who is still inside the ship and alive. A dead frog creature who you have yet to identify despite taking samples, and 3 carabiner guards outside. Without hesitation, Evane looks at Annie and says, "Did you put in the coordinates?"
Yes.
Okay, and she hits a button on the screen, and the entire ship begins to shake and rumble as it immediately takes off into the atmosphere, and that is going to conclude our combat. Well, it would conclude our combat, but we still have a living guard on board. So you
It's 1v6.
kind of
We got
gotta,
it.
yes.
A living
Yeah.
test subject.
All right. Yes. a living, oh my god, that's not creepy at all. So,
She's not going to do
But
anything
yes, so-
nefarious. He's still alive.
yep. The guard aims his gun at Narix, Kalani, and Ed, and is trying to figure out who to shoot first.
He was alive, bro. I
You
would
know-
have curb stomped this bitch. Like,
Well, now's your time.
not alive anymore.
So-
Yeah. If I can take him out, I'm going to
All
take
right.
him out.
Okay, roll to attack.
For sure.
You hit the switch, and then
I guess I'm still raging. Because am I? Would I? You said end combat, so I
I'll
don't
say
know.
yes by virtue of needing this combat to be over. So
Okay.
Finish him.
Finish him. Sweep the leg.
Up, up, down, down.
23.
okay, yeah,
Do it.
you nailed him. You nailed him. You did 7 points of damage, and that's enough.
Good.
So how do you want to do this?
Like I said, yeah, I'm gonna. I'm just gonna go at him with my.
Just
If I have to
Just
use my
wail on
stick,
him.
then yeah. Just,
Thank you for
Just-
the raid.
Oh, thank you for the raid. Thank you, not
Thank you for the raid.
That's awesome. All right,
Magic
and that concludes the
dungeoning.
combat. You now have, as you kill this last carabiner guard, his illusion dissipates, and you now see a second frog creature sitting right on the inside of the door. We're gonna just put him on the inside of the door here, and the doors are now shut, and the sky begins to deepen from a light blue to a dark blue as you take off into the atmosphere. Atmosphere and combat is officially over now. So, yay! You guys did it.
And I
Oh my
used my
God.
data pad to gain more, data on these individuals.
On the individuals, yes. So, and as you feel the engines were to life, Varix, you hear the comfortable purr of well-kept engines. You know someone's been working on these engines so that they're in working shape. But something occurs to you. There is another ship at the pier that belonged to someone you cared about, and you don't know if they're okay.
I pull out my data pad and immediately try to start messaging Captain Aurora about, like, are you okay, pirates? Or it's just say, pirates, are you okay? And it's and then an emote of Varix, just like puppy eyes.
Okay, and there's a while. It's a little bit before you get a response, and you're not sure if it's just because you're not sure why there was this much of a delay. Usually, the captain responds pretty quickly, but this time, after the delay, you get a response of Starweaver and its crew are safe. And then that's
smile.
Oh, and that's it. So now you guys are in space. Combat is over. What would you guys like to do?
Annie is sitting at the console, bouncing up and down as watching the coordinates for Serpens get closer.
Okay. Yvain, it goes to you and says, we should bring the others here, at least into the cockpit so they can see where we're going.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Do you know how to can we find the captain too? Maybe.
Right. The captain, and she she goes behind one of the chairs in the cockpit and just sort of sighs and throws up her hands and like reaches behind this chair and starts shaking someone awake. And out from behind the chair comes a little red droid, very angrily saying, "Excuse me, there's someone sleeping here." And Yvain's like, "Not again." And
you were here the whole time?
How tall is this robot?
This is a tiny little droid. It's a little red droid. He's about like less than 2 feet tall. Very small. This is a droid that's clearly like kind of an assistant. It's not the same as like Varix's Steel Defender.
Ed, kick the football. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god. Well, no one's in the cockpit yet because we haven't called, like, Yvain said we have to call you guys, but so what ends up happening is that, sorry, brain stopped working.
Same.
You hear rustling from behind the chair as someone goes, "Oh, what did I miss?" And Yvain just sort of rolls her eyes and is like, and goes to Annie and says, "This is the intercom button. Why don't you get everyone in here now that the captain's awake?"
Yeah. He's gonna go over to the intercom. He's gonna press the button and goes, "Hi guys. That was weird. The captain's here and awake, and we're going to Serpens. You guys should come in here."
Maybe you shouldn't have told them about the Serpens part before they got in here.
Why not? It's exciting.
Also, turn off the intercom.
Oh.
And, so you guys have all been summoned.
Like when the other person doesn't hang up and you don't hang up, so you put your phone away, and then they can still hear you, and they're just like, hello, turn your, and they're like, just why don't you just hang up?
Well, so now
Varix floats in, riding on his ball.
Okay, Yvain is patiently waiting for everyone to roll in. I'm assuming everyone is coming. No delays. No one's curious about anything aside from sample collecting.
Yeah, once Kalani feels she's gathered enough information on this creature with the assist of the data pad and her sister, and just gathering the field work
that they said they were going to go do.
Field work. Oh god. Okay.
Yeah.
Varix
Yeah.
had planned on exploring the engine room, but somebody called, and he's like, "Oh,
Yes.
Ed would be coming out of his adrenaline-filled rage, like, just whipping his quarterstaff back to its condensed form, shoving it back into his bag, and sort of like pacing around, being like, and immediately going to the
bleeding full of
fucking
holes.
cockpit
Okay.
to like, and yeah, super
We
happy,
did tell
super
them not to get
stoked.
on our ship. It's
Okay. Well, once everyone gets back to the cockpit and everyone's kind of reunited again, Evane takes a deep breath and meets all of you and says, well, the good news is the captain's awake. The bad news is she kind of missed everything. And just behind her, you see, like, sitting, like, now out from behind the chair, sitting in the chair, a very pretty-looking woman with short lavender purple hair. You can't really tell which color because it sort of is lighter at the top and gets darker at the bottom. And tiny moss-covered horns protrude from the top of her head. She's wearing a baggy green sweater, and she's sort of got a layered top situation going on with a yellow and black top, and black shorts. She also is wearing bandages on one hand and across her knees. Like, she gets hurt a lot.
does Varix see the small droid?"
The small droid is actually next to her foot, and as well as the bunny creature that was with the gentleman earlier, has also joined.
I would like to go up to the small droid and just like pick it up and begin it like poking and prodding at things to see how he worked.
It gets very offended, and it stings you. You take 2 points of lightning damage. Excuse me. I'm not just something you can violate this way. And then it hops back over and goes back to the captain. And she looks at you and just sort of yawns. And you can see that she's made herself tea, and she's like stirring tea. And she says, "Hey, my name is Ren. I'm the captain. Sorry I fell asleep for everything. It's kind of a thing." And she puts her cup down. And anyway, glad to have you on board. You guys need to pick what positions you want on the ship. And she looks to Evane. And Evane's like, listen, we should probably start from the beginning. That's a little vague. And she motions towards Ren. We are going to a place called Serpens. Has anyone been there before?
No.
And she looks at the rest of you.
Would Varix have been there before?
Varix would never. I don't think Varix would have been there before, but you might know of it. Roll a history check for me. Anyone who would like can roll a history check to see if they know Serpens. I know a couple of people have been to Serpens, so you don't have to roll and are familiar
25.
with it. So you know Serpens is the mining planet. Serpens is the planet from which the bulk of the Carabiner's Sorium is harvested. It has the largest downed crucible, and it is also a place that is, because there's such a heavy mining community, you know that it is a very different atmosphere from Nordstern as well. Who else rolled? I heard a couple rolls going off there. Kalani, you know Serpens as the mining planet and nothing more. Nerix, you know Serpens, the same thing. You know that it is the mining planet, but you've also heard rumors that there is there's a market for black market goods, and that there may be some crime syndicates operating out of there. But those rumors are unconfirmed for you.
Okay.
So you know it as a dangerous place. And Evane continues to explain, says, the reason we're going to Serpens is because I need the rest of this map. The survivors that I spoke to when they handed me the Euphorium told me that they had actually been given a map to through the infinite polygon. It showed a way to get there and to the place where this element occurs, but they sold it to, I think, and she goes through her data pad as if she's going through her notes, and she tells you her name is Eris Alistari, and she's a collector of rare historical artifacts. So, and on that note, Ed, Annie, and Mason, go ahead and roll history for me, or Arcana, whichever is better.
History or Arcana?
Mm-hmm.
These are my best rolls, by the way.
Okay.
They're the
This
same.
could be great.
I'm lying on my ass.
Wow, Annie, no. Yikes.
I should have rolled history.
Ed. All right. All right, so Ed, you're the one who recognizes this name. You know
Because I'm a
Eris.
fucking professional. God damn it. With this fucking shit.
Oh, it's funny because it's true. But you know this name. You know Eris very well, actually. You have actually been on a couple of assignments for her to find people who have certain things that she wants. So you're very familiar with Eris and her shop. And you also know that if something like that would be something that Eris held on to, for sure. She wouldn't have sold that. So, yes. And you, so that said, Ren's like, yeah, but they still need to pick their jobs on the ship. Otherwise, they're just going to walk around here like they own the place. And I don't want to deal with that. And so Yvain kind of sighs and says, so because this is a working ship, we actually do need people to choose positions just so that, the ship can run on the way to the infinite polygon. That's why you're part of a crew. And she pulls up a little holographic list of positions for you to choose from. So there are 6 different positions, and they are the pilot, the navigator, the gunner, the chief engineer, the medical purser, and the cook's assistant.
I don't mind cooking.
Okay, so, oh, wonderful. Kalani, you'll help out Candle. That's our cook. He's a bit fiery and sometimes burns things, but you should be fine.
I get
it. Yes.
Can Varix quickly type on his ball droid? The little console pops up and he types in. The little hologram pops up of his own that has a checkbox, and right next to it says "Captain?" ?
Is this
I don't think that's one of the jobs that you can pick.
The captain position is taken, and she motions towards the captain, who has already told you her. Who looks at you and says, "That's me. I'm Captain Ren. It's nice to meet you." And but that's okay. You're really good with engines, so why don't you take the chief engineer position? Great. So now, okay.
I like the seat that I'm sitting in. Is this the navigator seat?
And suddenly I'm getting flashbacks of Wash from Firefly. That's fine. If you want to be the pilot, that's great.
That's even cooler than navigator. Okay.
Your cruel but inevitable betrayal.
I do have to warn you, though. This ship can sometimes be picky about who pilots it, so just be prepared for a test.
I hate tests. Okay.
Sorry.
What's the position immediately adjacent to pilot?
Navigator.
Fantastic.
You'd be the one. Oh, okay. So you'd be helping Yvain figure out where we're going.
Sure.
Yvain looks very hesitant. She looks at you. She's like, okay. All right, I guess this is a thing now.
Varric will walk over to Annie and just like pat the back of her leg, back of his leg.
God.
Sorry.
Yes.
He'll take any pronouns.
Okay, no.
Kalani's
all right,
just got her oversized spoon while she's standing there listening.
All
Annie
right,
gets
so
a
that
thumbs up from
leaves
Varric,
us
just-
with 3 other positions. We have the gunner, or actually 2 positions left: the gunner and the medical purser.
Well, I know how to heal, so maybe
Okay.
my benefit would be medical.
Cool. And then she turns her head to Mason and says, I guess that makes you the gunner. You're the guy that's going to keep us safe.
Yeah. Yep.
And Ed is just rolling his eyes so fucking hard.
I've used ship turrets before. Trust me. Don't worry about it. I got this.
Maybe Sully can walk you through how those things work.
Yeah, I mean, every ship's different, so might as well.
Oh my god.
I have faith in you. I think you'll do great. So, that said, you will be walked through the different positions on the ship. We're going to, so go ahead and get familiar with your positions. We're getting ready to take the hyper jump to Serpens. And then once we leave Serpens, we're going straight for the infinite polygon. And hopefully the Euphorium. So, and as you say this, Sully and Candle actually finally joined the group because they were gone a little bit longer. And you have more of an opportunity to take a look at this man. And you realize that he is very chiseled, yes, but he has what looks like veins of molten rock, like going throughout his face as well. And his eyes are in a natural red, yellow, and orange color, kind of like fire.
All right then.
So, and he says, "Yeah, I can help you with the gunner position. It's not super difficult." And he kind of gives Mason the side eye, a little bit.
No, I know it's not. I don't understand why you think it is.
Candle's like, "Yeah, sure, you'll be fine. Just don't die, okay?"
Well, that's the whole point. I'm supposed to keep everybody safe.
Uh-huh. Good luck. Let's go. And so, and Sully and Candle turn and start walking out with the expectation that you'll follow them. Actually, he says, "You know what? Actually, wait a few minutes. Let me get it set up for you. You guys need to take a breath. That was a little bit intense." And he walks away to go handle, get you prepped for becoming the gunner of this ship.
Easy. No
And
problem.
Yvain says, he has a point. We can take a little bit of time. We're about to hyper jump anyway into Serpent space, and I'll need a little time to get our credentials sorted. So if you guys want to hang out in the common area and kind of, I don't know, relax and maybe clean up the bodies that are there, that would be great.
Wait, how many bodies?
2. There's only 2. I tried to tell them to stay off the ship, but they didn't listen. So
And Ren interrupts you with, "Oh, gross. Is that what that smell was?" Silence. It's just like, she shakes her head. "Oh yeah, we definitely need to get that cleaned up. That's really bad."
Do you guys have like a trash chute or something?
Sully can set it on fire. That's what he's good at.
I feel like that'll smell worse.
Well, he's got other stuff. He can disintegrate things too.
Fascinating.
What? It just comes with the turf. And as she lifts her hands to her face, you see the match to the wedding ring that Sully is wearing.
Barracks is going to sit on top. Barracks is going to climb up and sit on the top of his ball droid and just sit cross-legged, and it slowly starts spinning. He's
So, like, I'm the pilot. Do I need to do anything for the hyper jump?
Yes, I can show you in just a second. But I do. Let's take some time to really get to know each other. I mean, we sort of got to know each other in the tavern, but I'm just now getting a good look at you. And if you guys would like to take some time to properly describe your characters, because I know our intro in episode 1 was a little rough, you can. Otherwise, you can just make it like 2 sentences and we can just do a quick round table.
Where do we start?
Pick one. Somebody talk. Don't make me make you roll initiative.
All right. Barracks will start. So, as I mentioned, he's sitting on top of his ball droid now. His ball droid is the metal on it. It's smooth on the outside, and like I mentioned before, there's a lens kind of in the middle of it that gives it almost like an eye look, but there's a purple glow coming back from behind it that you can see, like, as it itself is almost. I wish I had a photo of reference because I'm very bad at describing these kinds of things, but the purple light moves, so it gives the appearance that it's looking at things.
Okay.
And taking in information rather than it just being a straight lens.
Okay.
And as he's sitting there, you can see he's got a pair of brown overalls on that they're covered in some makeshift patches that he's probably had to put on himself, and some oil stains, some black tan leather boots. He's got what seems to be just like a regular, just a t-shirt on that also has some oil stains. He has a black bomber jacket is the best way I can describe it. That's covered in like almost collection pins, or what you can assume to be collection pins, things that he is just like, there's a bottle cap on there, for instance, that has like a pin, like a safety pin run through it, and it's just pinned on there, and he's just a collection thing going on. His skin, or rather I say skin, it's a carapace. He is a thri-crane, so his carapace is a naturally light orange hue, almost bronze in color. And his forearms, of course, but the left one, you notice as he's fiddling with his hands, the bottom left one is actually a machine, just like a prosthetic that he constantly finagles with itself, like twisting the fingers or like tightening screws, flexing to make sure it works. He's got a scarf on that covers the bottom half of his mouth, but occasionally it'll drop down. You see he does have some mandibles that come down, but he'll pull it back up to try to
hide it.
So if you ever hear him clicking, it's him communicating, but it's various noises.
Okay, great. So
he has a pair of welding goggles that are over his head like this. And they've got like couple lenses that he can put over, and then dials on each side that he can change, and then a set of antenna that just constantly finagle around.
Okay, and great. So that's our description of Varix. Annie, why don't you go next?
Annie is bewilderingly tall and thin. It has light leather armor, but it doesn't really look like it. It really just looks like sort of desert chic, more so than it does armor. He's got the hood and a little bit of a cowl. Just a little bit. He's very, very ambiguously young. Can't tell his exact age, but the voice and the voice cracks will often give it away. Young, naive, and a little bit stupid, especially for how smart he is.
Okay. So that's Annie. And then we've got Kalani and Nerix. Why don't you guys go together?
Oh, snap. Kalani's hair is usually, well, hair, I should say tentacles. It looks like a mass of hair, but it goes from like a lighter red into a deeper one into a dark purple. She's got a long sleeve shirt underneath this kind of cropped vest jacket, and right underneath, right at the torso, it's got like this purple mesh. Her three fingers have purple tint at the tips. She has markings on her face, while not the same as her sister Nerix's. They do interact for whenever she accesses her abilities.
Okay.
And she's got an oversized spoon.
Yay! Oversized spoon. All right. And then that brings us to Nerix.
This is gonna be easy. Physically, besides the markings on the face, copy paste.
Copy pasta. Love it.
Just makes it so easy. I was hoping you were gonna go first, hun. The markings are different on her face. There are blue dots marking along the sides. Her clothing is mostly dark purples and black, and a starry cloak.
And we're
Besides that,
only 5 foot tall.
That's right.
Alrighty.
Short gang, let's go.
All right. So, Lev and Roman, let's go ahead and either one of you can go. I know we actually got a pretty good description of Ed, but if you'd like to review that description, that's fine as well.
Up to you.
Yeah, sure. Just because having been shot and shit, the situation kind of changes. So, closer inspection, like I said before, Ed is a sort of scruffy-looking, like scraggly face, golden, dirty blonde, sort of rough-looking dude, scrappy beard, like I said, and a sort of grimacing sort of smile with a little, like the smallest gap between his two front teeth, which you would have seen if you saw him like gritting his teeth at any point. He's normally wearing pretty like large clothes up to the top. That get tighter down around his legs, but mostly keeps himself covered. At this point, having been shot, his jacket is mostly open. While there is, small bits of, blood sort of seeping through a white sort of undershirt, it's not incredibly, like, telling as a human, or rather a regular person might bleed. But I guess the only new thing that I would mention is that while his hands are more exposed now and not shoved in his pockets, his hands are not flesh. They are mechanical.
Alrighty. Okay.
Varric probably sees it and looked at his own hand.
Aw. And that brings us to good old Mason.
He is not on the short side, not on the tall side, and as I said before, he's kind of an average height. And now that he's on the ship and he's not amongst a bunch of public people, he has the cloak completely off and down. So he's dressed in kind of these very light flowing robes. Some of them, the underneath, are like almost like wraps around his midsection and around his arms, his hands, his legs. He has a very kind of like charcoal bluish tint to his skin, with these like gold tracings down that look like tattoos, but upon closer inspection, they're actually his skin. They're like these like rock inside of his face.
Nice.
He has a multitude of tattoos all over his body that were incredibly hard to put on. And really just, I don't know, he does smile, as you guys would see him doing whatever. He doesn't seem like he's in a bad mood at any time.
Okay, great. So, and with that round of introductions done, Evane is, Brenna's like, oh, great, that's awesome. I'm glad to meet all of you. And she like kind of writes down your names because she's and she looks up and says, I'm sorry, I'm really bad at names. I don't want to forget anybody's name. And she, inputs it and she like writes it. She's physically writing it down. She is not putting it in a data pad and then like shoves it in her pocket, probably to be lost later. And in any case, she does say, go ahead and get set up at your stations. We're going to be hyper jumping in the next 5 minutes or so, and then we'll be on our way to Serpens. And she leaves you off alone to do your thing. So you guys are going to report to your stations, except for Ed. Ren actually goes over to you, Ed, and says, it looks like you had a rough time. Why don't you come with me to the common area and we'll get you fixed up, Mr. Navigator.
Ed glances between her and between Annie. And he follows Yvain.
Or not Yvain, Ren. Ren is the one who's
I'm so sorry. I thought Yvain was taking me.
So fine. No, Yvain is hanging out in the cockpit.
Got it.
So
we'll follow Ren.
Okay. All right. So Ed leaves. Let's see. And then that leaves everyone else. What would you guys like to do? Are you guys also going to go to your stations?
Can I float over to the frog thing, and I want to see if it has any like gear on him that's worth taking?
Yeah, you're welcome to go to examine the frog thing. You can investigate, and what I'll do is because we are reaching our time, and I do want to get these things wrapped up because we have some important points to hit before we go into next week's episode. Your successful investigation roll will determine what items you find, and I can go over that with you next episode.
Sweet.
If you would like. So go ahead and roll an investigation check for me, and I'll determine how successful you are. I can at least give you how many items you find.
Kalani's just checking over Nerek's, making sure she wasn't injured in the battle. I
don't know why I rolled with an.
So would you guys have gone to the common area? That's okay. That's still really high. So you're able to loot this dude for everything he's got. He's got at least 5 items on him. So I'll tell you what those items are. Eventually. We'll get there. In any case, so Kalani and Nerix, you guys are doing this in the common area, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are hanging out in the common area. Sully is busy setting up for Mason, so he hasn't, the topic of food hasn't yet come up for you, Kalani, so you're good. Ed is being healed, and then Mason, you're off to go train with Sully. And that leaves just you, Annie. And
Annie is so stoked about being responsible for hyperdrive.
Yes. And it's so Yvain sits you down in the pilot's chair, and she basically she says, okay, you're going to place your hands right here. And she has you place your hands on these palm, they look like they'd fit a myriad of hands, not just human hands, but you can see the imprint for where human hands might go. And as you put them on, you feel a tingle as the system starts to scan you.
Oh, that tickles.
And you see Yvain working on her data pad, inputting your information into the system so that the ship knows who you are. And she just says, it's a bioscan. It just needs to know who's piloting and who's going to set up the hyper jump.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then it very quickly, essentially this is your password. So you just put your palms on it. It scans you and goes, oh, cool. This is the person that is my pilot. So what do I do? And it pops up a map of where you're headed. And it says, trajectory, Serpens, begin hyperjump, ? And it's a little hologram that appears in front of you. And Yvain says, just hit yes when it pops up. And a yes and no pops up on the screen.
I take my hands off to press the thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cool.
And you can take them off. Nothing happens once the scan is completed. It's literally just a login area.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought I just had to keep my hands there. Okay, that's so much easier.
Yeah, just
Press
push
the
the
button.
button, okay? And then as you push the button, you feel a little prick on the side of your neck. And I'm gonna need you to roll a Constitution save.
Indeed.
Ooh.
Oh,
You
What's
rolled
going
pretty
on?
high,
I rolled
so you
really.
didn't feel it. You don't like. You're not sure what happened at first. It just it felt like a bug bite almost. And it takes a while. Like you see that the hyper jump, the engines are revving up, but it's going to take like an hour before you actually are able to hyper jump into Serpens space. And as this hour passes by, you find yourself getting sleepier and sleepier. And and you realize that you haven't heard Evane talking in a while, and you're not sure if she's left the room or not. And when you go to look for her, as you try to like get up and look, you realize that your body's not working the way it's supposed to. Your knees are weak. And slowly, your vision starts to go black.
Evane? Ed?
Does Ed
And
hear
then-
from... I need to know if he hears.
It's so weak
Oh,
at
God.
this point that I don't think Ed would be able to hear it through the thick walls of the cockpit. But from behind you, you hear Evane's voice, and she places both hands on your shoulders and says, "I'm really sorry, but I know who you are, and you're far too valuable." And you knock out. And so the worst part of all of this is knockout. The worst part of all of this is that if anyone comes to check on you, for all intents and purposes, you appear dead. So you're just sitting in the chair like that, and that is where we're going to conclude our episode tonight. So,
Edward?
but yes. Actually, no, that's not where we're going to conclude our episode tonight. I forgot. There's a tiny little epilogue to this because it was a toss up between whether to do this, which episode I want to do this. I'll shut up and do the thing. Sorry. So even though you appear dead to everyone else, you are still present inside your mind, Annie. And as you float through space, you kind of start seeing things, flashes of things that don't make sense. You see a pair of Dendusar men, both very handsome, both and they seem like they're scholars of some kind. You see them working in a lab, but then that image goes away. And then you see the image of a very angry man holding a gun, a dirty blonde, it seems like, walking through the dust towards a ship, determined to find something. And then that image goes away. And then you see the image, and sorry, I laughed through the look of Love's face. Sorry, Love. And then another image comes to mind of another man. It's weird because you aren't a religious person, but you've heard stories of the temples on the planet of Teket that are dedicated to the goddess of Hesia, and how beautiful they are and how much treasure they contain. And this is one of these temples. The man seems to be kneeling in this temple and praying for someone. He looks vaguely familiar to you, but you can't quite pinpoint anything other than the fact that he has dirty blonde hair. And then that vision goes away. And last but not least, you see the vision of someone that you do know and you have seen. A woman in a cape with tabaxi ears, white fur, and a captain's coat, just visible underneath that covering. It looks like she's on a strange place, a place that seems industrial, filled with lights. and you watch her turn away and fade into the crowd. She's trying to not be seen. And that image goes away. And feels like you're falling through space, like kind of that Alice in Wonderland upside down feeling. And suddenly you see a door in front of you. Do you go through it?
Absolutely.
And inside you find yourself in, it seems strange because it's a very peaceful place. You've never seen it before, but it's like a little tavern. It's pretty empty. There's no one really there. There's a cheerful fire going in the fireplace. And you can see a long bar that goes across it. It's very homey. It's a very comfortable feeling. You feel like even upon walking in, you feel the sense of like being very comfortable and being at home. What would you like to do?
I want to have a drink.
Okay, so you go up to the bar, and as you enter the tavern, there you hear the little jingle of a bell on the door. And as you sit down, you hear, "I'm coming, we'll be right there." And a woman walks out from behind, from like the kitchens. She's got long dark hair in a braid that's laced with leather thongs. And her outfit looks very similar to what Mason's wearing, but with a little bit more of an Eastern feel to it. And she pulls out a mug from behind the counter and she says, "Hi, what will you be having?"
Do you have mead?
Yeah, we have plenty. Honey mead, raspberry mead, peach mead, what would you like?
Honey sounds good.
She pours you a big cup of honey mead and she leans in and says, "I haven't seen you before, but welcome."
Don't think I've been here before. Where is here?
Well, I should welcome you properly then. My name is Vix, and welcome to the Pocket Dragon Pub. And that's where we'll end the episode for tonight.
Cheers.
Cheers. I do hope everyone that you've enjoyed the episode. I know that combat took forever. But we got through it. We beat them. We sure showed those frog guys.
We did it.
Pat yourselves on the back.
Hopping good time, you know?
And our next episode will take us to the planet of Serpens, which I'm really excited about. I've been building that world for a bit.
I'm not.
I know you're not, but it'll be fine. It'll be great. It's not like you have anyone looking for you or anything. You know.
I'm excited to work on this engine and field core and figure out science and stuff. Literally before the stream, I was talking with Vixie. I was like, how do engines work?
Combustion. Lev was shaking their head so hard in that last bit. I was like, Lev knows what's happening.
There was a lot more blonde in those visions than I really appreciated knowing about. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like knowing that he said Ed and I couldn't hear it. Like, I'm gonna be so upset.
It's
about finding this.
That's why it's called drama.
Edward.
I can't.
Edward.
Yeah,
you got it. Yes.
Oh my god. Well, again, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for everyone for joining us tonight, and we hope you'll join us 2 Sundays from now when we hit episode 3 of Euphorium. Bex will not be with us this time, but that's okay. We'll see them in episode 4, and we'll find out what they've been up to over at the Pocket Dragon Pub. How's that for a name drop?
Shameless plug here.
It was a total shameless plug. It's gonna be great. But anyway, and we will see you next Sunday for Bright and Cheery with a whole new adventure. Well, not a whole new adventure, the same adventure, but the next chapter of this cool adventure. Let's put it that way. And happy Lunar New Year! What a way to start the Year of the Rabbit! Woo!
Yay!
All right. Good night, folks. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.